Friday, Jacksonville. Welcome to the middle of summer. My goodness, it's warm out there, but it's going to turn a little bit. So it's hot, though. I was coming in, I was like, dang, it's hot out here. I want jeans and the hoodie, right?
That's what I cherish. That's what I crave right now. We're not even close to that yet.
Why haven't I? I've got to come up with the ESPN 690 hoodie. I mean,
it's not a bad idea.
I'm going to have to buy it. It's not like they're going to buy it for us.
For sure.
I mean, maybe cut off the sleeves,
like it,
right?
Now we're talking like a little Bill Belichick style.
Yeah. Well, no, your style. Like, you've worn that before.
Oh, absolutely.
Hoodie.
Yeah.
Cut off sleeves.
Yeah, and I got it from Bill Belichick.
What if the sleeves had, like, zippers on them, so, like, if it gets real cold, you can put them back on?
It's going to be a no. It's going to be no. Do you know why? Because remember they used to have those pants like that?
Yeah.
Do you see people were rocking those pants anymore?
No.
It's for good reason.
Maybe, like, you
I
put
guess, like, mountain climbers maybe do still.
Put the zippers on and make the sleeves fleece, just in case.
Should we make it a 3/4 zip while we're at it and really just upset me to the maximum?
Speaking of I'm addicted. Okay? I have an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Brent Martineau, and I would like to admit a problem.
Let's hear it.
So I went over to to get something to eat in the town center area, and I won't give any free advertising, but I will give free advertising to this. So I go to the PGA Tour Superstore, right?
Yeah.
As I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And, like, I can't walk out of there with nothing.
Like buy something.
I've got to buy something. Like,
Whether it be it some tees or some golf balls?
No, not even. No, never buy golf balls, ever.
Okay.
Like, hardly. Well, I shouldn't say ever, but hardly ever.
Okay.
Unless it's like this crazy special on golf balls.
Then where do you get them from?
Or I buy Costco
steal
golf
them?
balls.
What do you do? Oh, Costco. Okay.
No,
Nice.
Or no, but like golf balls, I've said this for a long time. It's like, I don't want much for Christmas or anything like that, but I always tell people, get me golf balls because I hate buying my own golf balls.
Gotcha. Cool, you taking notes here? Christmas ideas.
Yeah. Send me
I'm going to need it for every holiday because I'm going through a lot of golf balls.
But I hate buying my own golf balls. I just do.
Okay.
I just don't like spending money on golf balls. It's a weird thing because I know I'm probably going to lose them.
Okay.
And so, you play in enough tournaments and other things, you kind of get them. But I like I play that Costco ball.
Okay.
And it's
all right.
And they're cheap. It's like $24 for 24 golf balls.
Now, before I let you continue, do you spend money on your wood for your outdoor fireplace?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm trying to see where your priorities are lining up right now.
I don't know why it is either, man. I'm a strange animal.
Okay.
All right.
Please continue.
So, but I will go buy like a shirt or like a golf shirt or a pullover. Like, I have more freaking pullovers. Like, do I need another pullover? No. So it's just I'm addicted to it. Like,
You're addicted to pullovers.
That's addicted to like some of the stuff they have in pro shops. Sometimes, like, not all of it. Like, but some of it's good stuff now.
I hear you.
I mean, it's like Tiger's made wearing golf stuff cool.
I hear you.
And I look good in it, like Tiger.
Yeah. Flexing a little bit there.
Yeah. I mean,
you got a little pep in your step on a Friday. I like that. Yeah.
But anyway, it hit me again that I can't walk out of there without anything, in my hands. So it's a dangerous place to go. That's an expensive lunch.
I'm sure they have some great discounts there for you, too, as well.
Yeah.
There's some perks.
Good people.
Yeah. I'm trying to help you out, man. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Jags and the Lions on Sunday. I got a good feeling about this one, folks.
Really?
Got a good feeling about it.
Sunshine and Rainbows coming around. Welcome back.
Welcome back into the weekend.
It's great
got
to have you.
Got a good feeling about your Jacksonville Jaguars, which might tick some people off.
Okay.
Brent, lose them all is what they say.
Yeah, sure. Two-toe wager Brent here.
Yeah, this is not going to be like one of those deals where they're going to be 1-13, right, with 2 games to go and then decide to win. Mm-hmm. The Jags are going to sneak some wins in. Mm-hmm. Okay? Their offense is good enough.
Yeah.
Their defense is not, but they're not that bad. They're not like the Jets. You do wonder if they're going to win, right? The Jags have had teams where you wonder, oh my gosh, I don't know if they're going to win. Mm-hmm. But it's the NFL. The Jags already have won one. They probably should have won at least another along the way, and I think they're going to win this week. I think.
Can I ask you why?
I'm kind of a gut check guy, kind of a feeling guy.
So we don't like to go off of.
Well, here's the thing.
Kind of hard Concord evidence here. We're just going.
Listen, I've gone off
because you feel it.
I've kind of made up stuff for the last 12 years around here to get them to win.
Sure,
and it doesn't seem to work.
Okay.
Not that good feelings seem to work either. But I feel like they've met their match in terms of stuff that goes wrong. Like Detroit just doesn't know how to win either.
Okay.
They don't, Like they have Stafford. We were talking about him on Jaguars All Access last night. His record's 70-82, man, as a starting quarterback. He's been in the league for 12 years. We talk about the numbers he's put up. He just doesn't win. Like, he's okay, and he's dangerous because his arm's dangerous, but they don't win. Like, I'm pretty sure, and I think I might have said this yesterday, you're going to get to the fourth quarter, and you're going to have a chance to win the game against the Detroit Lions. Like, they are not going to run away from you. Record this, please. They are not going to run away from you. And hide, And so they're going to give you a chance. They're going to keep you in the game. And then you got to make the play or two to win the game. And I understand the Jags don't make many of those plays either. But I'm just saying this game is going to be in question. This isn't going to be the 2-score game Houston, Miami was early on, and obviously Cincinnati even was. Like, I think, and a little bit of this is Murphy's Law. I mean, the Jags really haven't had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter the last 3 weeks. Haven't. Right? I mean, they had a prayer, but they haven't had much of a chance. This one's going to be your typical football game in the NFL. It's going to be close. It's going to be a one-score game. You got to make a play here. They'll give you a mistake or two. They don't know how to win either. And I do sense, I don't think they've lost the locker room in Jacksonville. I think they're still digging and trying to dig out of it. I think they'll make some corrections, and sometimes those corrections work. So, yeah, I've got a feeling that they're going to win this week. I got a good feeling about it.
So,
is that enough? More than a feeling?
So if you're in Vegas right now and you're trying to handicap this game, you would say that I have a feeling, number one, and number two, I guess it's the fact that it should be close by the fourth quarter. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Okay, cool.
The Jags are 3-point dogs at home.
Can I ask you some questions,
baby?
Can I ask you some questions real quick?
You can.
Who has the better offense?
I would say Detroit slightly.
Okay. Who has the better coaching? Push.
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah.
I think we can do a push.
Yeah.
Let's do a push. Who has the better defense?
I don't know.
Push.
But I'm going to give Detroit the edge because Patricia's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And actually, if you look at their scores, I believe they've done a better job.
Sure.
Defensively, and I can't buy a lot of faith into the Jags defense.
Okay. Who has better special teams?
Probably Detroit.
Probably.
Well, everybody but Jags. Yes.
Okay. So Detroit.
Fletcher High School.
Okay. Gotcha.
Probably
okay.
That was a bad pull right there, considering they're not playing tonight because of all the COVID stuff. But you get my point.
Okay.
Stuart Weber.
So it's 3-0 Detroit right now.
Yeah,
and they're going to lose.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. We did that same thing, though, against Miami, I believe, and we probably would have said a lot of Jag stuff, right?
Correct, yeah.
It's the NFL. And so when we hem and haw about, well, it's not like they're overwhelmingly better on offense, not like they're overwhelmingly better on defense. I mean, special teams, anybody's better than them right now. So I don't know if I give one area so much it lopsides this game. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So then it becomes, my point in this is it becomes a typical game. Like, it's not a great game. Like, it's not two good teams, but it's a typical NFL game where you're at home, and I think you got a little pissiness about you. I think the quarterback does. I think Gardner's kind of fed up with this stuff. I think the team in general is a little fed up with this stuff. Now, you might not have DJ Chark, and that's going to hurt. We'll find out. He's questionable.
Miles Jack's coming back. CJ Henderson's back.
Yeah, you get a little bit of help there. Do you get invigorated a little bit by some of those guys coming back? Josh Allen looks like he'll be back. So, listen, man, again, I don't think their offense has played great the last couple of weeks. I think they've left a lot of points out there. At the same time, I do believe that their offense can hit 30 like every week. I really do. Like, I think they can get there. I don't think that's pie in the sky. And so if you have the ability to do that and you clean up some of the things and you fix them where it's fixable, like on offense, I don't know if it's fixable on defense. So I think you can buy into that. Like this to me isn't a pie in the sky play. This isn't like next week would be a tough one on paper. First of all, you're going the West Coast. The Chargers have been pretty good defensively, way better than you are defensively. And their young quarterback's playing pretty good football, and they've got a lot of weapons. So I think that's a little bit harder to find. I don't think this one's that hard to say. And listen, Detroit's got the MO of the Jags. I mean, I try to ignore that past history, and here we go again. But it's right in our face once again. They're 1-4. So I think this is a week that maybe it's a little something's got to give here, and the Jags get a W. Listen, you're to the point now. They're 1-4. They have a lot of things go wrong. They have to try to plug a lot of holes and fix a lot of things all at the same time, which is impossible. You're chasing your tail a little bit, and so there's very few times right now that I feel comfortable. If you go look at the schedule, where I'd say, yeah, the Jags got a good chance. This is one of them. I mean, this is one. This is like this. See, I think the season ended last week in terms of hope and what you might be, and maybe you go on a run and all that stuff. That's my belief. I think the Jags season ended last week.
Based on the schedule.
Yeah. It's just now it's too uphill, man. You're 1-4. If you were 2-3, I still wouldn't love it. But if you're 2-3 coming into Detroit, and then you maybe beat Detroit, I could play that card up, and then at the bye, which no longer is the bye, you would have been like 3-3. And a lot of people said 3-3 at the bye is respectable for this team. So, but I thought those dreams went to die last week against Houston, in my opinion. So I don't think this is some turnaround. I'm not trying to sell you on that. Hey, look out, here come the Jags now. I just do feel and have felt that this is a team that's going to win some games along the way. Like, they're not atrocious in that sense. I mean, they have the capability of winning some games, I believe. So I think this is one they get.
Okay.
So take that to Vegas.
Cool. We'll have to
do our
break it
picks
down
later.
in the picks. Yeah, absolutely.
I just did I think I'll just go along and say,
a little
give me the
spoiler
Jags.
alert. Yeah, a little spoiler alert there. I like that,
Yeah,
man. A little tease.
Listen, I'm trying to give you a little positivity, even though, again, I think a lot of folks listening might say, hey, that's why are you doing that to us, Brent?
Yeah.
We'd rather lose.
For sure. Oh, for the draft, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, listen, we run into a lot of folks, and people are like, lose them all.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. And lose them all. But losing them all still puts you in a pickle because you're not – I don't think you get Trevor Lawrence. I don't even think you get Trevor Lawrence at 1-15. But obviously, if you lose more, you get a better chance at all that stuff that people talk about. It's just I can't do that in early October.
No, man, of course you can't.
No.
We're not trying to tank here.
Well, and I asked you this earlier in the week. We didn't really expand on it. But what is harder to do for the Jags? Get the number one pick or win the division at this point? Now, I can't ask that in a few more weeks. It might be 6 games back.
Yeah.
But they're 3 games back right now.
Sure.
What I actually believe now, listen, in reality, I think they have no chance to win the division. I just told you their season's over.
Yeah.
But I also think that the point of this question is I think it's very difficult to get that number one pick.
No, I agree with you. It's going to be hard for sure. But I think it's easier to get the number one pick right now than it is to win the division. Because I think Tennessee's playing too well right now. Indianapolis is kind of, okay. Houston can make a run. And I think right now, if you see this Jacksonville Jaguars team, it's like they're going to lose a lot more games than they win, right? So with that being said, I think it's easier for them to get the number one pick right now as opposed to winning the division.
Yeah, and I think you're probably right somewhere along the way. Jets are probably going to win a game, and they might win 2. And then we'll be saying, why did the Jags win?
Yeah. No, I mean, keep in mind, Sam Darnold's still playing for his job, right? I mean, he's still fighting for his career, essentially. So he's not going to let up any bet at all. So, yeah, I think the Jets can win a game. I think the Giants could win a game. And they're playing Washington this weekend, I think.
Washington, yeah. They might beat each other up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And then you got Atlanta. Atlanta's going to win.
Of course.
All right. I mean, unless they just bench Matt Ryan or something and bench all these guys, but they're gonna win. And they already said there's not going to be a fire sale. So before the deadline, and so I think Atlanta's going to win games.
I think there's too much pride in that locker room, especially the way it went down the first 4 games or
and
whatever.
Too much talent.
Too
much talent. I mean, could they turn into the 2-14 Kansas City Chiefs of 2013? I think it was, or 2012.
I'm sorry, 12. Yeah,
it was
right.
12. Yeah. So I mean, I guess they could. But still, that's a couple of games. What's interesting is if you add up all those teams, nobody seems like they're in more turmoil than the Jets. There's no more worse feeling in the NFL right now than the Jets. Nothing. Which is, I mean, they're in a bad place, in a bad way, and it doesn't look like they'll be able to get out of it.
Do you think Gase lasts the season?
No.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Yeah.
Like, who's next? And also, who would be in line? Because all of a sudden now, and I've said this for a long time, if the Jags do make changes, I believe they are so much more attractive than they've been. But they also might have a heck of a lot of competition. A lot of competition. Who could lose their coaches this year? Could be something to keep an eye on. And maybe does that spark you to do it earlier or not at all? I don't know. People are like, just swore at me, probably. But It's interesting to measure the contestants here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We'll take a break. We'll talk a bunch more football. I'm getting some good fantasy news for my fantasy football team. I'm excited about that.
You got fantasy questions, too? Feel free to call in the show.
Absolutely.
We'll
904-362-9901. I am a fantasy football guru.
Easy now, Brent. You're 1-4, so let's show a little respect for our audience here. I'm 5-0.
690.
I'm undefeated.
Is the number, or you can send them in here on social
I'm the Bill
media.
Belichick of fantasy football. It's no big deal. Give me a call.
A nice sweatshirt. Well, six-pack of picks is coming up around 4:30. We are going to start the show in a way that I don't start many shows. Well, we already did start the show, but we're going to begin our next segment in a way that I don't usually start show. Usually save this until like the 4 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Going to talk a little bit about college football because I believe the big story in sports right now is Nick Saban. And what's the latest going on with Saban? And what if he coaches? And there's a lot of talk now. If he does coach and they find a way for him to coach, what does this look like? And let's get the latest on the situation. He's got to pass all these tests. And could he even coach tomorrow night? Again, a huge game, best game of the weekend in college football against the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll start there when we come back in the ESPN 690.
For now. Or is it? Yeah.
That was really good.
He's going to be on the field, right?
You think Nick Saban coaches?
Come on. What are we talking about here? The essentially the Don of college football. Like, they're going to find some way to get him on the field. Whether it's in a giant bubble, whether it's a hologram, he's going to be on the field.
Whether it's a hologram.
He's going to be on the field. His influence will be all over that stadium, Brent.
If he coaches.
When he coaches, but go ahead.
How bad of a look is it? Doesn't matter.
Does it matter to the Alabama football program? Probably not.
Well, no. Yeah, this isn't about Tuscaloosa and Alabama. This is bigger picture, right? This is one of the faces, the face of college football.
From the optics, well, let's break it down real quick. The guy tested positive Wednesday. Now he's asymptomatic, which means he doesn't show, the symptoms. So that's good and everything, but you still tested positive. Now, if I'm not mistaken, what I read is he has to test negative 3 times before the game in order to actually make it on the field.
Yes, he had to test negative yesterday, negative today, and negative tomorrow night.
Yeah. So if that's the case, he tests negative, can I really be that upset about it? Can I be really taken aback by it? If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. So I like the fact that he's had to test 3 days in a row. I think that's doing your due diligence. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. If he tests negative, what more do you want me to tell you? He should probably be on the field then.
Well, I think it's more, this is all optics, right? If he does test positive. And there's a lot of things to it, right? It's like, okay, yes, of course, anybody would like to be on the field. Nick Saban wants to be on the field. How much does Nick Saban feel like he needs to be on the field? And is he that? I'm sure he's type A.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
And says, we can't win this game if I'm not on the field.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he's not the only one that would feel like that. A lot of people would feel like that, right?
That's a lot of head coaches.
Yeah. And I think it's a lot of people. With that much invested in the program and how much he's built the program, I know it sounds like that's Nick Saban. Who else would act like that? Well, everybody would. Is my point.
Dabo, man, you can name them. They'll act like that.
But let's just give it a little bit of a little perspective, because we're talking about Nick Saban potentially. There's like a little bit of a loophole here where he could be on the sideline Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Well, if you go back a couple weeks ago, it was Mike Norvell for Florida State who had tested positive some 8, 9, 10 days even before. Maybe it was 7. Maybe it was like a full week before the Miami game, and they ruled him out. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't even say that was an option. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what people are like, wait a minute. Special rules for Nick Saban, special rules for Alabama. And overall, it's like, if my kid in school right now is sitting next to someone that may have been exposed to it, they have to go home and quarantine for 14 days. Nick Saban's quarantining now, but he's been doing it for like 2.5 days.
Sure.
So I think this would be a really bad look for Alabama. I think this would be, and for college football. Yeah. And for just, listen, acknowledge what it is. Sit this one out. It's a big game, but you got people that are paid a lot of money to do things. You can get them prepared. You can't really do much now from home during the game. By rule in college football, I think it's like an hour before. You have to cut off communications.
Yeah.
You can't be coaching from your living room. You can't. Okay. Well, so there are rules against that. But, again, the funny thing about this is it's not even necessary. It's a huge game. But even for both these schools, Georgia and Alabama, it's kind of a mulligan game. Like, it's a game that it does not prevent them from doing anything they want to do. For Georgia, they still have to beat Florida here. They got to get to that SEC championship game in Atlanta to most likely go to the Final Four. Beating Alabama doesn't do that automatically. Now, there are some other ways around it if they were to lose to Florida here in Jacksonville in a few weeks, all that stuff. But I'm not denying it's a big game, but I also think it's not like the national championship game. This isn't the SEC championship game. It's a big game in a regular season in college football, and both these schools can rebound from it and find a way to do that if they lose the game. And by the way, even if it was a national championship game, I still think I'd ask the same question.
Yeah.
How bad of a look is this if he does make it on the sideline?
First of all, let's act like they didn't do Mike Norvell a favor by not letting him coach that game. I mean, he
have to watch on TV, man.
I'm sure he's like, you know what? Let's see what else is on tonight. You know, I'm just going to turn it off. I'll check out the Cliff Notes eventually, my DVR.
Probably watch Memphis.
I'll check out some of the highlights. Yeah, let's see what those Tigers are doing. Yeah, so they did him a favor. Listen, I understand what you're saying, and there's going to be a group of people that are going to see this if Saban does indeed coach on the sidelines and have a deep issue with it. And maybe that's justified. But I'm just saying, if we're talking about a player in the situation and the player was out, and then all of a sudden it's stated where if he tests positive, if he tests negative 3 times, he can come back and play. Well, then I would be like, well, if he doesn't have it, then let that player come back and play. So to me, what is the difference between the player and the coach besides the age? Like, once again, if Nick Saban doesn't have it, and if he tests negative, then so be it. He doesn't have it anymore. Now, I'm not sure what the percentages of accuracy these tests are, but I like your chances if you test negative 3 times in a row. So if you don't have it, then go have at it, man.
Does Alabama need Saban?
Yes.
Do you really think how much does Saban being there or not being there impact the football game from a win-loss standpoint?
It absolutely does. And keep in mind, I get what you're saying, but this game isn't everything. Yeah. So this game isn't everything per se, but keep in mind what we're dealing with right now. Like, the Big Ten's about to get underway. Pac-12, same thing. Like, this is going to be the muddiest of the muddy waters in terms of, I think, how you're going to dictate who goes to the playoffs. So you need every win, every advantage, every point score that you can possibly muster up, because we're not sure how this bracket's going to shake down at the end of the season. So this is indeed an important game. And I think when you're talking about how important is it for Saban to be there, I think it is of the most importance, because he's the head coach. He's the guy, he's been the face of Alabama football for how long now? All due respect to Derrick Henry, Mac Jones, Amari Cooper, just name your players. There's so many of them. C.J. Mosley. It's always been about Nick Saban. And he carries that much of a cachet. And I think that if you don't have him on the sidelines, what you're accustomed to, because keep in mind, we're all creatures of habit. If you lose that, you have to ask yourself, well, who's going to pick it up for Nick Saban then? Who's going to take over that role? And to be fair, Nick Saban's got size 22 shoes, and I can't see anybody filling those shoes. So I think it is important for Nick Saban to be out there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he is that kind of stature, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's even the coaches, right? We talk all about the assistant coaches have never beaten Nick Saban. Well, Kirby Smart gets a chance here. But when you look across that sideline, you're like, oh, that's Nick over there. When Steve Sarkisian's doing it, instead, you're like, that's Steve Sarkisian. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I get it. I think he does add something. I think it was really interesting. I was stunned to see the line move. The line moved 2 to 2.5 points in Vegas because of the COVID news on Saban. That is wild. I guess we don't really have this kind of stuff to liken to, has it happened before, or who else? Norvell, I didn't check the line. I think Miami was favored by a bunch and probably still favored by a bunch. Yeah. But this seriously went from a 6.5-point line to, I think, 4 points in some places and 4.5 points. Georgia's only a 4.5-point dog on the road in Tuscaloosa, and they would have been closer to a touchdown dog if Saban was planning to be on the sideline.
So, listen, Saban does a lot of things great, right? He establishes the culture. He's a great recruiter. He's obviously a certified winner. But to me, what Nick Saban does maybe better than anything is that he reminds those players the expectations of Alabama football, right? Where there's some games maybe where they're tied at halftime. There's some games where they're underperforming. They're still up by maybe 20, but they're not playing their best. He'll get on about it and be like, hey, we're Alabama, right? We're not supposed to do this right now. I don't think a lot of coaches have that gift of saying, it's, for instance, Florida State. There was one time in Florida State where it was like, guys, we're the Seminoles. We're Florida State. We don't play like this. Saban does that to the nth degree. So I think when you bring a pretty talented Georgia team in here, especially probably the best defense in the country, and they're traveling to Tuscaloosa, it'll be a close game. But let's be honest. I think Alabama's supposed to win this game. So if you have a lapse at all from that Alabama team, Nick Saban's going to be the guy to remind them, hey, I understand Georgia's good, but we are playing you-know-what right now. So that's, to me, why, in case this game gets a little too close for comfort, why Nick Saban should be there.
Well, and keep in mind, too, this is why the optics could look real bad. We brought up Norvell recently, and there's been other coaches, by the way, that now have tested positive and either missed games or dealing with it. Well, Les Miles for Kansas isn't even traveling to West Virginia. And, he got tested positive for it a little bit back now. So that will, I mean, everybody's dealing with it different. Everybody's symptoms are different. Everybody's not protocols are different, but the way they handle it is different. But I just think that's an interesting juxtaposition right there, that Miles isn't even traveling to West Virginia, and he tested positive. The news came out about that before Saban.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the schools, right? Like that's kind of the school's policy. Well, it's Alabama football.
Yeah, guess who runs the school?
Yeah, exactly.
One other note about the virus stuff. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey issued $1 million in fine. Said they can face $1 million in fines up because of wearing masks for coaches and other sideline protocols that aren't done right. So they're trying to really levy, some uniform rules. And I think there's a lot of people looking into the way everybody's handling it. The Titans brought that to light. Mm-hmm. But I think even now the comments of Scott Strickland the other day and also Dan Mullen in the last week shows you Texas A&M might be a little bit above the percentage. That's the read between the lines story, is that Texas A&M is above the percentage that they are allowed to be allowed in, and nobody's doing an actual head count. They're just trusting the schools to go by their percentage. Yeah. And you certainly get that feeling that Texas A&M would be on that list. So we'll see what happens with Saban. I don't think he coaches. I don't think they pulled the trigger on it. Well, first of all, today's a big day. We don't know his results. I mean, it's not like they're sitting there saying, hey, Nick, okay, your results, everybody, he's negative.
Yeah. You're going to have some kind of televised thing on ESPN, and here comes the decision. Which cap is he going to put on, yes or no?
I would say that sounds like absurd, but...
No, it's not. Brent, come on now. That's SEC Network? Come on.
I know. Yeah. There's almost like, is there precedent yet for that?
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think he coaches. Okay. I don't think he coaches. I just don't think they'll pull the trigger on this. And by the way, I don't know if he's fully healthy enough to coach anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think the next little bit, or maybe even already today, which again we just don't know as of a little bit ago, what his test result is today. Like, if he did have the negative, then I think Alabama's going to try to push for this. I think the SEC and the backlash, college football, the rest of it's going to say, no, not happening.
But you don't think Nick Saban's too big for that game?
I don't think he's too big for that, no.
Ooh, Brent.
Well, here's the thing.
Talking about
I think this is where his image hurts him in this sense. He's so big that it will be detrimental. It will be more bad than good because he is the face, one of the faces of college football. And so I think there's going to be other parties that jump in and be like, listen, man, don't do this. This is a bad look.
But do you think Brent, all
I
he
don't
cares
know
about
if
is
he cares,
winning.
but I think he'll be talked out of it.
Okay,
I'm not saying he doesn't want to be on it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he wouldn't put himself out there.
Okay.
I think he will be talked out of it. I don't think they will allow him on the sideline on Saturday night. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Let's get back to the NFL a little bit. Little Jags-Lions talk when we come back. This feels like one of the most least exciting games to preview I've done in a long time. Am I right? Or is there something to look forward to?
There's some fantasy intrigue.
All right, well, let's find it next on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12-yard. 15 to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown to Mario Harry. He is scary. Knowles win.
The Seminoles return home this weekend as FSU hosts North Carolina.
It's intercepted. It's the promised land. Touchdown FSU.
Kickoff is set for 7:30 Eastern. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern right here on your home for Florida State football.
Hear the Florida State Seminoles on ESPN 690 thanks to Donato's Pizza. Every piece is important.
Hey, boss, guess who I saw at the grocery store today?
I don't know. Elvis?
No, I saw your mom.
Ah, she doing good today?
Yeah, she's great. Said to say hello. Oh, and to thank you again for the Safe Touch security system you got her.
Ah, Safe Touch. The source of all my internal conflict.
Huh?
See, on one hand, as a cook, I hate Safe Touch security. But as a son, I love Safe Touch because they help protect my ma.
Yeah, she loves having the medical and panic buttons. Oh, and the two-way communicator's been great. She says Safe Touch makes her feel safe.
And so my personal tug-of-war continues. I hate Safe Touch. I love Safe Touch.
Well, love 'em or hate 'em, we still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. Unless it's Mom's house.
crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Attention all Camry buyers. If you've been wanting a new Camry, then I've got great news for you because today's the day to get your Camry and save big at Arlington Toyota. It's the Today's the Day sales event going on now at Arlington, and they've made a special purchase of 2020 Camrys. That means they've got 132 new 2020 Camrys in stock and ready to sell. But with a deal like this, you got to get yours before they're all gone. Make today the day you save big at Arlington and buy a new 2020 Camry at 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Want a new Camry? Then today's the day, but they're going fast, so don't wait. Shop safely in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/today's the day for full details.
For the ones working tirelessly to keep their coworkers safe. For the ones rising to new challenges. For the ones rebuilding stronger than before. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, and 24/7 support. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by ***, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing *** Mobile from your mobile phone. That's ** Mobile.
Nathan here from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park, your Silverado headquarters. We've got over 50 Silverados in stock and ready to go. And during Truck Month, take up to $7,000 off a new Silverado, plus get a $1,000 accessory allowance to customize your new truck. At Gordon Chevy, you'll find a huge selection of new Chevys, no bull pricing, and we always do our best to get you out in your new car in about an hour. Find us 5 miles south of the Orange Park Mall on the money-saving end of Blanding Boulevard or online at GordonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously some drives that we're able to sustain and go and score before a half to be able to go in 2 minutes, and be able to get points on the board, to completion percentage, yards per carry. You see those things and you just try to put them all together. And we've had guys make some plays and, we've missed some plays out on the field. And I think defensively, there's times where we've played the run in a game, during series where we've done a nice job. There's times where, we defended the pass. There's 2 games where we were able to get on the positive of turnovers. And, we've been doing a better job of really trying to disrupt the quarterback.
That is Doug Marrone, Jaguars head coach. Trying to figure it out. We'll see if they figure it out against the Lions. I got a little faith that they will do it. How will they do it? What gets you fired up for this game? I was excited, a little more excited about this football team because of their offense, and now their offense has disappointed me the last couple of weeks with big penalties. And you look up, and they've only got 14 points last week, and it's feels like nothing is going right, whether it is with the offense. The defense even plays well and gives up 30, or I shouldn't say plays well, but plays like better than they had and still gives up 30. And now special teams is about as miserable as you can be. So I don't know what I would be excited about seeing. I've been enjoying watching Miles Jack play. So he gets back on the field, it looks like. C.J. Henderson Jeffrey Okudah, little top 10 first-round pick matchup from the cornerback position that we get to see Sunday afternoon. I also just don't know how excited I am to watch this offense play now that I think they're not at least living up to some of my expectation for it. But I am a little excited to see how they change this around. And how will they run the football a heck of a lot more? My fear, and I've said this, is that I think they'll go this 180, and now all of a sudden they'll run it like 35, 40 times, and we're going to be in here Monday, and you're going to be doing your 3 things after the game. We're going to be on the post-game show on Action News Jax on Facebook, and we're going to be saying, well, you didn't have to run it that much.
Yeah. A little overkill, right?
Right? And that's what our job, we get the luxury of that.
Yep.
They don't. But I don't know, man. I just don't. I feel, I said this 2 weeks ago, I feel like they're a bit grasping at straws right now, and you have to do that when you have so many things to fill and plug and Band-Aid up. And that lends you to do that. I think they have to get a plan and stick to their plan and be confident with their plan. I just don't think trying to fix here and there and everywhere is a good place to go. And I think you lose the locker room a little bit that way, too, because I think guys will see that. They're like, what are we doing here? This isn't what we worked on. This isn't what we said we were going to be. And, we've been very vocal about it these last couple of days. And that is, I don't know who they are, and I don't even know if they know who they are, but they certainly feel like they can get up and down the field scoring points. And they've put sustainable drives together, and they like their weapons on the outside, and they like James Robinson, and they like their offensive line. They still have belief in their quarterback. I know that's waning a little bit outside public perception, but I think there's belief in Minshew to get the job done and put points on the board. They have got to ride with that. And they've got to figure out that formula and get to 30 points somehow in this football game. That's what I want to see if they are able to do.
Listen, to me, this game plan, it's not that hard. Yes, you have to establish the run. You're absolutely crazy if you come out here against the Detroit Lions, who are the second worst in the NFL of stopping the run, and you do not run the ball with James Robinson. You're absolutely insane. You didn't do it against Houston. You cannot afford the same luxury against the Detroit Lions. So, number one, you run the ball. We broke it down yesterday a little bit with Gardner Minshew. Some good plays, some plays, and some not good-looking plays, right? And I think we both agreed right now that Gardner Minshew appears to be pressing a little bit, right? So when you have a quarterback that's pressing, what do? You rely on the run game, you set up the play action, and get him some quarterback-friendly passes to get his confidence up. It's as simple as that. I think if they can run the ball, use play action, use those short passes a little bit, I think they're going to be in great shape. The last thing I want to see, though, it's the last thing I said I didn't want to see against Houston, but you did it anyways, is I don't want to see Gardner Minshew pass 40 times. You're not going to win a football game. You're not going to win a shootout with that Detroit Lions offense. I don't think it's going to happen with Stafford and company, even though you're at your home place. I just don't see it happening. So to me, the X factor, the deciding factor of this game is going to be James Robinson.
Yeah, I think you have to prove to us that James Robinson handled 20-something carries. Right? He can't handle being the focal point of the offense. And for this game, and by the way, you have to also prove to us that Detroit can stop the run. And that was everybody's problem last week. It's like, okay, yeah, Houston did a good job with it, but you hardly tried it. And so Houston wasn't very good against the run to begin with, and you made them look better than they were against the run. So I think that's the thing about Detroit, to see if they can stop the run. See if James Robinson, I do have that question. I think it's a fair question. James Robinson's been fantastic. He catches the ball, very good at it. He's almost become a 3-down back. You can rely on him in that sense. He can get 13, 14 carries, pop a play here or there. We really haven't seen him. I don't even know what his total, his high is. His high can't be over 16, 17 carries. So can he get it 22, 23, 24 carries in a game that you need him to do it? And part of the reason we haven't seen him is because they haven't needed a 4-minute offense, right? I mean, they're not up in games trying to kill the clock and run the clock out. So this is an interesting game, I think, because I think the focal point will be on Robinson. And people like when he has the football. I mean, he's been a tremendous story so far. I think we need to show that story a little bit more, tell that story. Coming out of the game against Houston, one storyline that didn't exist? James Robinson. like we're not talking about him. Like we're not even saying, hey, that was fun to watch. Hey, James Robinson was fun to watch. He was the one good thing on offense or this. No, that wasn't the case. You know, that wasn't because he didn't get the ball enough. I mean, he really didn't do that much other than the 11-yard run. I think he had another run that was halfway decent. And then, of course, he had the fumble, too, on the trick play. And I'm not even going to put that
But
much
I'm not
against
even
him.
putting that on.
Yeah, that's on the coordinator and the play call. So I want to come out of this game again talking about James Robinson, right? And I'm sitting here today on a Friday, and I'm just trying to be honest with everybody. And listen, I love watching the Jags play even when they lose. I love the games. I love the fact they're home. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Get on out there if you're comfortable and going to the game. 17,000 tickets. We'll be there. We're going to talk all about it. I think I should have a good feeling. I think they're going to win. But I'm also telling you that I like to kind of look forward to something. And I've gotten to the point where I like watching James Robinson play, but I'm not sure they're going to give him the football.
No, listen, I mean, to me, it's the only logical explanation that you have to give that guy the football because he has not showed one reason why you shouldn't trust him yet, right? I take away that flea flicker. That's not his fault. All right. That was a bad play call. We just established that. So until James Robinson gives you a reason why you can't trust him, then why go away from him? Simple as that. He's the only constant right now, besides this offensive line, that I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars have. There's been some peaks, there's been some lows, there's been some ebb and flows, but James Robinson has been consistent. So reward him and see what he can do.
You know what's interesting? Like you say that, like I don't think they should change their personality of the football team, like for the year, but you can change game in, game out. And, like, they like their offensive line, and they like their running back. I'm not saying go back to 2017, and now we're a power football team, and we're going to do this, and we're not going to even utilize our guys on the outside. And no, I'm not saying that. I still think James Robinson, you can work off him and start with a run and take advantage of a weakness on the other side, which looks like Detroit now through 4 games, giving up 170 yards a game. And then that opens up the nice plays to Laviska Shenault, the creativity to him. Maybe the tight end over the middle with Tyler Eifert. You know, now it's Keelan Cole. I'm not going to even say DJ Chark because I don't get the sense he's going to play. I don't know, but I don't feel like he's going to play because he missed 2 practices this week. So it doesn't mean you can't throw it. You know, and you can throw the football, and you can throw it a good amount of times, but you have to set it up with this week with the run. And they've set it up in the past few weeks with the pass. And again, I got to remind myself, I can't believe I'm even saying this. Like, this has been such a boring offense over the years, and now Jay Gruden's throwing the football, and we're asking him to run again and make it boring again.
Yeah, no, listen. And and to me, it's not about making it boring. And to me, it's just about getting the ball in your playmaker's hands. And right now, I think James Robinson is the playmaker of this offense. Yes, you have Shenault, you got Conley, you got Minshew, all these guys, but James Robinson, like I just said, has been the constant. I don't care if it's out of the I formation and you bring Bruce Miller in. I don't care if it's out of shotgun. I don't care if it's out of screen passes. Whatever the situation may be, you get James Robinson the ball and let him do the rest.
Quick look at these guys. Anybody you'd play in fantasy football this week out of this? You brought it up.
From the Lions or the Jaguars?
Either one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, go ahead and give me some Marvin Jones. Go ahead and give me some Kenny Galladay. I think Danny Amendola is a sleeper out of that slot position. And obviously, Jaguars have had a hard time with the tight end. TJ Hawkinson's also in play. From the Jaguars' perspective, DJ Chark might be kind of iffy. So go ahead and give me Shenault. You got to give me James Robinson. And, you know, like the rest, like with all due respect to Conley and Colin Johnson, it's kind of like who's going to get the reps that game, right? So I don't want to divide the share like that when I don't have a really good idea. So go ahead and give me Shenault and James Robinson from the Jaguars.
How much better, let's just, from an offensive side, I know this is better that the Jags got Josh Allen. But how much better would the Jags be on offense if they had TJ Hawkinson? Is he good?
Yeah, absolutely he's good. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he got taken when he did last year.
I know he got taken, but a lot of people get taken and aren't good.
No, I mean, I think he's a great...
David Bryan got taken in the first round, too.
Sure. I think he's a great dual-threat tight end. I think he's a decent blocker and obviously a great receiver. The Jaguars could definitely use him right now.
Yeah, because he didn't show much in his first year because of the injuries. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Now, you know what I'm going to say about that? I think Noah Fant's always been better, and that's the hill I'm going to die on, but it is what it is.
Bottom line is the Jags were taking TJ Hawkinson if Josh Allen wasn't there.
And I say you should take Noah Fant, but it is what it is.
But they were taking Hawkinson.
Yeah. By the way, who's better right now, Noah Fant or Hawkinson? Do we have a bet on this?
I don't think we did.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I took Fant. I'm pretty sure.
No, you definitely didn't do that.
When we come back, little FSU at 4. What do you say we give away some Donato's gift cards today? Let's do it. We'll tell you how and when and well, you can get them.
Stay tuned Monday.
Next on ESPN 690.
Today. Oh, today. Oh, okay. All right.
Monday.
Right now.
No, we're going to do it right now.
Well, you know how we tease things.
You can stay tuned Monday, too, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You can get free pizza. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference, serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at MacDill Air Force Base or Eglin Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract, full coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Stugatz here. Advance Auto Parts is hooking you up big this October. Big as in $10,000 plus a virtual meet and greet with yours truly and the rest of the Dan Le Batard Show gang. Just text Le Batard to 77333 to enter, then head to Advance Auto Parts for a die-hard battery so you're ready for your victory lap after winning. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. Limit one entry per day. See advanceautoparts.com for details.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Patriots canceled practice today after another positive COVID-19 test. As of now, they're scheduled to play the Broncos Sunday, a game that was postponed from last week. The Colts are reopening their facility today after closing it briefly. The team had 4 false positive tests, 1 player and 3 staffers. Game 6 of the ALCS for the Astros and Rays. Even after 2 straight wins, Houston manager Dusty Baker knows the math.
Still the pressure's on us. You know, I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, you know, they only got to win 1 and we got to win 2. And then tomorrow, the pressure will be even.
Our Game 6 coverage starts at 5:30 Eastern on other ESPN radio outlets, and later at 8 Eastern we'll have Game 5 of the NLCS with the Braves leading 3-1. Former Angels communications director Eric Kay was indicted today in the death of pitcher Tyler Skaggs. Kay is accused of knowingly giving Skaggs the fentanyl that led to his death back on July 1st last year.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, they do too. So whether you stop by a local Napa Auto Parts store, Napa Auto Care Center, or visit Napa online, you can count on Napa know-how.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
This is a very good defensive team. They're a veteran team. They have a lot of experience. They've got they play more than two inside players that are really, really hard to block and hold the point very well. They've got some edge rush guys. They got a very good secondary. Their linebackers are very fast and active. So this is a really good defensive team. I think the numbers and the statistics for 3 games really bear it out that they're one of the top defensive teams in the country.
Yes, they are. You know how my feeling. Defense is dead in college football unless you are built for it. And Kirby Smart and this Georgia team are built for it. They don't have this prolific quarterback, although the great story with Stetson Bennett. I mean, he's a fantastic story. But they're not this prolific passing attack. They are okay on offense. They can score. And I think they're going to get better and better as the weeks go by. But they certainly are not the Gators, right? Certainly not Alabama. Heck, they're not even Ole Miss when it comes to scoring points. So they need to have a defense, and Kirby Smart's one of those guys I think that will always be able to have a defense and define a defense and figure it out defensively. Although I say that about Nick Saban all the time, and now he can't seem to find it. So this is one of the few times that he can't even call on his defense. I don't think he has a lot of confidence in them right now. Those guys are so good defensively. I always feel like they're going to figure it out. And that even if they don't have the greatest players, the greatest roster that they usually have, I think they'll be okay. But right now in this day and age, I think that's even hard. But not Georgia. Georgia has a lot of really good football players on that side of the ball. It's the strength of their team. So it would be a great strength versus strength in this football game. And the pace of play. We talk about pace of play like in basketball. The pace of play in this game coming up will be of utmost importance, I think, for the Georgia Bulldogs, because I don't think they can keep up on the scoreboard if it's a shootout.
No, without a doubt. And I wonder if that's going to be the strategy here for Alabama. Turn the mic on. I wonder if that's going to be the strategy for Alabama here coming out, where they're going to try to up the pace a little bit, or do you slow it down, right? I mean, Georgia's been playing good defense all year. Do you risk it for the biscuit? Do you actually just start running the ball a little bit and say, you know what, you guys are great at defense, check what we can do on the offensive line, and kind of control the tempo of the game, control that clock, and win by possession?
We will see what happens. We'll talk more about that game in just a moment. Steven's been hanging on the line, and I feel like Kuz has reminded me about this for like twice in the last 2 minutes. So I don't know if he gets like $50 check from Steven if he makes it on the show, bonus money or something.
Yeah.
Steven's here. What's up, man?
Hey, not too much. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I had an opinion on the game plan. Hopefully, they listen or get people's opinions and everything like that. I figure a good game, solid game plan would be Robinson 20 to 25 carries, Minshew 30, 35 at most. Throwing and running, because I'd like to see Robinson versus Peterson, veteran versus young blood.
All right, Steven, appreciate the call, man. Thanks. Yeah, you know what? I think they'd be extremely happy with that. I mean, if you take away, if they get 60 plays in a game, 60 to 65 plays, I think if Robinson has between 20, 25 carries, I think that means Minshew will probably have between 30 and 35 throws. It's not going to add up to that because Laviska Shenault might get a carry. There might be a run play by Minshew or two. Chris Thompson could get the ball. So there's probably like 5 to 10 miscellaneous plays. But I think the ball in the hands of Minshew and Robinson combined could equal 50, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you like those prop bets.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, not those type of prop bets, but yeah, those are a little too aggressive for my blood. But no, I mean, that could definitely be the fact. But once again, you got to ask yourself, on the other side of the ball, can the Jaguars defense stop anybody, or will the Lions kind of control the time possession as well? Because that's what it comes down to at the same time.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the game and see how that one shakes out coming up. Hey, we're going to give away a $25 gift card right now to Donato's Pizza. And grab a pizza or two and watch the games this weekend. College football Saturday and also Sunday all across the NFL. Donato's Pizza, new in town, right there on Beach Boulevard toward Jack's Beach. So you can check that out. And right now, caller number 3, 904-362-9901. 904-362-9901. $25 gift card to Donato's Pizza. Enjoy the pie. Once you get that gift card, give Kuz a call. This is in conjunction with FSU at 4. I want to talk a little bit about Florida State. And Florida State plays North Carolina tomorrow, right here on ESPN 690. It's a 7:30 kick. North Carolina's looked very good. Mac Brown's got them playing great. Top 5 in the country. It looks so odd for North Carolina. I think it's first time in over 20 years that they've made it to this ranking. I think it's tough to say Florida State, hey, can you beat North Carolina? Because they haven't really proven that they can beat many people. There was some encouragement last week at Notre Dame in their effort and some of their performance on offense and what they were able to do. I kind of feel like that's the W here again tomorrow night. Now, they might be able to pull off the upset. It's college football, man. Everybody's got to, strap up that helmet and play. But I think I think North Carolina is interesting as a front runner like this. I said about Florida a couple weeks ago. How are they going to be now being the target on their back? Yeah. Well, Texas A&M got them. Now, Texas A&M's better than Florida State is. But North Carolina is now in this position where they haven't been as a program in over 20 years. Now, people are like, whoa, North Carolina's coming. Holy cow, 5th in the country. They're scoring 50-something points a game. Look out, antennas up. That's not the way it's been for North Carolina football. And so I wonder how they'll play in that role. So I actually think don't be stunned if Florida State did something. Okay. Now, I'm not calling it. I'm just saying don't be stunned because the mentality of teams is an interesting one. I think bigger than that, though, is I almost want to see a shootout in this game. Yeah. Like, I want to see if Florida State can go toe-to-toe with North Carolina. We know they can score. Sam Howell and company. We know they've got a good offense. But can Florida State match them? Can they get into this track meet? Not where they score 26 points like they did against Notre Dame, but Virginia Tech scored 45 last week against North Carolina. Yeah. I think it was 45. So can Florida State do that? I think that would be a good step for Norvell, because you've heard me say this about Norvell and Florida State. They're not going to get a lot of W's. It's going to be a miserable year. But I think if the effort can stay and a little bit of growth, especially on the offensive side, that is the identity of Norvell. The Norvell identity is his offense. The Norvell identity is details and getting better. Look at Memphis, what he was able to do with that program year by year by year. So I think you talk about speaking to your coach and living through your coach. I think Florida State needs to do that. There's accomplishments they can make in a small little way building this thing, even without W's, that I don't care. I know nobody likes the moral victory stuff, but you know what? For Florida State, it was so bad in Miami, and it's been bad that I think moral victories will come into play. I think a shootout in this game, whether they win or lose, would be a little bit of a victory. I almost want to see it.
Yeah, well, I think it is going to be a shootout, actually. And to be fair, is UNC one of the top 5 college football programs in the country? Absolutely not, right? But I will say this, though. I like the fact that at UNC, where they are obviously ranked very high right now, and there's a lot to lose, it's going to be a long fall off that mountaintop. But I like the fact that I have Mac Brown as a head coach who's done a lot of coaching in his career, and the players love to play for him, and they have a pretty dang good quarterback, too, in Howell. So with that being said, and keep in mind, Howell, too, was getting recruited by Florida State, and then they didn't offer him. So there's a little bad blood there, I think, between him and Florida State as well. So a little more incentive, if you will. So I think it is going to be a high-scoring game. I think that's what Florida State fans would want to see. Not obviously a blow-up, but actually a competitive high-scoring game. And I think it will be. But I just think that, yes, UNC is ranked a little too high, but they have the features of a head coach that's reliable and obviously a quarterback that's also pretty good.
Well, listen, here's the thing. You think about Sam Howell, right, in North Carolina and his relationship to Florida State and how he went to North Carolina and Florida State didn't get him. And now you have Jeff Sims, too. Now you're starting to see some of the misses, right, for Florida State. Howell and what he's doing in North Carolina, Sims has been really good. Obviously taking some lumps to at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not going to be a top 10 team in the country, but they are progressing in the right way with a freshman quarterback from right here in Jacksonville that Florida State had. I mean, they had him. And now you got to wonder if Norvell can get the guy at the quarterback position. But the bottom line is what we've been saying about college football is everybody's scoring.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I say you need a shootout this week, and it's okay to have a shootout this week if you're Florida State, is because, well, now you're like everybody else.
Sure.
You don't want to be the team that while everybody's scoring 40+, you can't break 20.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because of style of play, by the way. Like, you want to play fast and score points. Like, that's where Florida State is. They can't move the ball offensively. You know, you go back, the Gators were like that earlier in the decade. We say it about the Jags, right? They've been a step behind. They can't throw the football like the rest of the NFL starting to throw the football. They were still stuck in the run game, and, you know, you're just off pace with everybody else. So that's why I think in this game, when Virginia Tech, who would think Virginia Tech would throw up 45 points? If they can throw up 45 points against North Carolina, you kind of hope the Noles can go back and forth in some form or fashion of a track meet. Again, they might lose by 2 touchdowns still. I don't know. But if you can get the feel of your offense coming off a halfway decent game against Notre Dame and a good second half against Jacksonville State, well, now you might have a little something going, and you're a little bit more like the norm in college football rather than this outlier that not only isn't very good, but now can't score.
I also think in terms of recruiting as well, like, listen, anytime, I don't care if it's North Carolina, I don't care if it's Colorado School of the Mines. Anytime you play the top 5 an opponent in the country, you know, eyes are going to be on that a little bit. So I think if Florida State can keep it close and finally showcase that offense, that's what you want, because this is the year of the offense, right? And there's no better recruiting tool, I feel like, than a team that is fun to watch. Like, to all the high school recruits out there, if you tune in and watch a high-scoring game between Florida State and UNC, well, then now you're a little more intrigued, right? The last thing you want to see is Florida State put up, you know, maybe, I don't know, even like 21, I think is a little too low. 21 points, just get blown out by 42-something. So I like the fact that this is a matchup where it could be high-scoring, an exciting game, and in terms of recruiting, that's what you want if you're Florida State.
Yeah, speaking of recruiting, by the way, big news, not good for Florida State. Brandon Jennings, the linebacker from Sandalwood, who I seemingly cover every weekend because that's my beat. I've been on the Sandalwood Saints, and a very good player. His dad played at Florida State. He was committed to Florida State. Well, he decommitted earlier this week from Florida State, and now he's going to Michigan to play for Jim Harbaugh. So I had to double-check myself on Jim Harbaugh, not John Harbaugh. But that's big news around here and actually across the country. I mean, that's a headline story across the country. He's an ESPN top 300 player. Brandon Jennings headed to Michigan to play. So another L on the recruiting trail, really, for Florida State. Georgia got a big win the other day with another 5-star offensive lineman. So it's like the only place I can get 5-star. I mean, offensive linemen go to where it feels like. Georgia. I'm assuming Alabama gets a bunch of them.
Sure.
And like Michigan?
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Ohio
I don't
State
even feel like Ohio State. Do they? Like, they have to because they're good.
Yeah.
But like, it just feels like every time I hear of a big-time offensive lineman, to be honest with you, it's usually Georgia.
Well,
like, Georgia's been able to
go and
stack
show
them
Wisconsin a little respect here too now, Brent.
Yeah, you're right.
But
they go in their own backyard all the time,
they're
right?
all in state. Yeah, they're all in state. No, you're absolutely right there. So, yeah, it is kind of a weird thing, right? Like, I don't know if it's just like, if it's the position coaches or whatever, but yeah, there are like offensive line schools that if you're a 5-star blue chip offensive lineman, like, you'd want to go to one of 5 schools, it seems like.
Well, it's got to be nauseating for some of the fan bases, especially Florida State. They can't get enough offense. They can't block for anybody.
Yeah.
And if you look, just look at the dynamic of Florida State and Georgia. Florida State now is at this drought of quarterbacks, and they've been awful in offensive linemen. Georgia has had a litany of quarterbacks, 5-star, been able to even grab JT Daniels. Jamie Newman was coming over until the COVID stuff. Stetson Bennett, who's kind of like a throw-in guy, is actually playing pretty well. Carson Beck is a 5-star guy. I believe he's 5-star from here, yeah. So, I mean, look at all those guys. And then the talent on the offensive line. Would they have 3 guys drafted last year? Like, 3 of the top guys in the country?
Yeah, listen, and it goes hand in hand. It coincides together. If you have a great offensive line, and especially a young, like, freshman or sophomore quarterback, that you can buy them time, that gives them confidence, you're going to have success. The problem comes when you recruit, with these 4-star, 5-star quarterbacks, and they don't have an offensive line to give them confidence. They're getting hit every single play, right? Like, listen, I understand people got their opinions on Francois. I don't know what Francois was ever going to be, right? Because I don't think he ever got a fair shake. The guy was always running for his life and dealing with injuries, and that's kind of been the MO, I feel like, of Florida State football a little bit. So if they integrate that offensive line, then who knows what kind of quarterback you have. You saw it last year with Alex Hornibrook. Alex Hornibrook, 5 touchdowns against the Miami Hurricanes in the bowl game for Wisconsin. Comes to Florida State, running for his life, struggling. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it does. It's just fascinating if you take just those two positions, what Georgia, who has now been top 5 in the country for the last almost handful of years, and Florida State, the complete opposite. They can't get either position, and we see what their record is. We see where the state of their program is. Just those two positions, offensive line and quarterback. There's a lot more that goes into it, but those two positions speak volumes about where those two programs are at and maybe what it takes to be successful across the board. Big weekend of college football. Some of the games, obviously, LSU, Florida, not happening. Been kind of quiet on the Florida front in terms of where this is going next. It's more now keep an eye at next week and see if they'll be able to get ready to play with all the COVID-19 news there on campus. A reminder, we will have SEC tonight, tomorrow, at 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. So we will lead into the pregame coverage of Alabama and Georgia on CBS 47. That will be at 6 o'clock. We'll have an hour show for you on CBS 47. What is going on with this show today?
What's up?
I mean, started off with like Nick Saban talk.
Yeah.
Now we just did a bunch of more college football. What are we doing?
What's up, man? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. We just don't usually go here.
No, but I mean, there are the big stories today. Like, I can see what else is trending. You want to talk about something else? I think Cardi B was trending today.
Oh.
You want to talk about her?
So was Nicki Minaj. Also, I saw that the sunset here, I think, is 7 o'clock, and we're not going to have another sunset like after 7 till like March. That's kind of depressing.
So what time is the sunset going to be? What?
He said basically it's a 7 o'clock sunset tonight.
Okay.
So get ready for your hashtag Battle of the Sunsets.
Sure. Yeah, branding. Okay.
And because now everything is the next sunset, like tomorrow will be 6:58 or 6:59.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have daylight savings coming around the corner.
Okay.
So what he's saying is the next time the sun will set at 7 o'clock or later is March. And so, therefore, typical Coos fashion, that's depressing.
Sun, it's still going to set, though, right?
It is.
Yeah, but it's going to be dark.
Coos, here's the here's what's not depressing.
No. Yeah, it's going to be dark when the sun sets.
And that's depressing. You don't want it to be light out to like 9:30?
I don't care.
You can tell a lot about somebody in a statement like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be more of a positive thinker.
Hey.
Coos.
Austin Lane is more than an athlete. It gets dark after the sun sets, everybody.
It does.
Yeah.
I wasn't even listening to that part.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I was trying to tell him is...
It's ingrained in my brain.
Here's what's
ticking
depressing.
me off.
Here's what's depressing.
Yeah.
Is if you live, like, in Philadelphia or up north, right?
Yeah.
And not only does it get dark at, like, 4:35...
Yeah.
But it's usually about 36 degrees shortly.
Exactly. You
Rainy,
go outside,
cold rain.
De-ice the windshield.
That's depressing.
You have no idea what that even is, people in Jacksonville, Florida. De-ice the windshield.
By the way, Coos, why do you care so much about the sunsets? You've been getting up so early, you see the sun rise.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't want to see it rise and set. That's too much.
The days are shorter is what we're getting at, people.
I got you. Make the most of them.
You know what
Am I right?
You know what I say?
What do you got?
That's more time on the outdoor fireplace.
For some people, yeah. For all you 1%ers out there and your outdoor fireplaces.
We're almost at fire pit season.
Your time's coming up for like 2 weeks, and that's back to summer again.
Let's send you to break with another $25 gift card to Donato's Pizza, 904-362-9901. But it's going to have to be caller 5 this time because I want to make Coos work a little bit.
I like that.
904-362-9901, caller 5.
Till the sun goes down,
gift card
Coos.
to Donato's Pizza right here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690. Partly sunny and warm yet again today before some big changes over the weekend. Highs reach the mid to upper 80s this afternoon, dropping to near 60 and becoming breezy tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's Buy One, Get One wedding band sale going on now through October 24th.
Hey, if you're in the market for a car, let me direct you to a place. How about Fields Auto Group? We had such a good experience recently. My wife is leasing a Cadillac XT6. She's been driving that now for more than 6 weeks and absolutely loves it. Heck, I love it too. I steal it once in a while from her. Fields Cadillac Jacksonville was awesome to work with for the Cadillac XT6. Different level customer service with Fields Auto Group. No matter what you're driving, you can step up to luxury for less now at any of the Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. And it's not just Cadillac, but that's one of them. Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. It's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less during an amazing opportunity. Do what we did. Go visit fieldsauto.com.
Attention all Camry buyers. If you've been wanting a new Camry, then I've got great news for you because today's the day to get your Camry and save big at Arlington Toyota. It's the Today's the Day sales event going on now at Arlington, and they've made a special purchase of 2020 Camrys. That means they've got 132 new 2020 Camrys in stock and ready to sell. But with a deal like this, you got to get yours before they're all gone. Make today the day you save big at Arlington and buy a new 2020 Camry at 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. And with every new vehicle purchased from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Want a new Camry? Then today's the day, but they're going fast, so don't wait. Shop safely in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/today's the day for full details.
The 2020 Florida-Georgia game is happening Saturday, November 7th, and Tailgaters Parking is open and has premier tailgating spots for you, your friends, and family. Tailgaters Parking has been a fun, friendly, and fantastic tailgating venue for football fans for 17 years now. Tailgaters is located across from TIAA Bank Field and offers reserved parking, security, clean fixed restrooms, a bar and grill at the pavilion with easy access before and after every game. Go to tailgatersparking.com and reserve your RV or car parking today.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliances breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville. ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Heart attacks and strokes don't stay home. When seconds count, call 911. The hospital is the safest place to be. Visit heart.org/don't die of doubt. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, locally supported by
Flagler Health Plus.
This is Tom Skerritt for the Borgen Project. Each year, nearly 2 million children die from preventable diseases. Each day, 30,000 people die from hunger. 500 each hour are children. The Borgen Project is turning this around. We need your help. To learn more, go to BorgenProject.org. That's BORGEN project.org.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable. African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
If you have a specific medical problem, you call a specialist. Broken leg? Call an orthopedist. Cataracts? Call an ophthalmologist. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our doctors specialize in ED and PE. Listen to Dr. Rabinski, a renowned expert in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain or surgery. In fact, you'll see results in the office guaranteed or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting for 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, treatments are affordable.
Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Prime Men's Medical Center for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians. Call 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Le'Veon Bell didn't last long in the free agency market. The Kansas City Chiefs signed him to a one-year deal. Here's ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
Listen, everyone close your eyes, right? And Chiefs fans, you'll love this. And if you're not a Chiefs fan, you're going to be miserable about this. But close your eyes and just imagine the Chiefs breaking a huddle and you got Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Le'Veon Bell on the field at the same time. Like, imagine Patrick Mahomes going, like, ready, break. They break the huddle, and all of a sudden, the defense is like, wait, what do we do?
And in Major League Baseball, the Braves are one game closer to the big one as they lead the series against the Los Angeles Dodgers 3-1. And the Houston Astros actually got one game closer to pulling even as the Rays now lead that series 3-2. Both play tonight. If you're working from home and want to listen to ESPN, tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
And I'm going to regurgitate it to you. I'm like a mother bird right now, and I'm spewing it in your mouth.
Brent Martineau.
You got doves flying and mother birds all week.
I'm trying to baby bird you right now, man.
Yeah, well, this is why I tease stuff and don't get to it.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Hi, I'm Danny Warfel, 1996.
Each week, with all these guys that we've had, Gary, they've looked good where, like you walk off the field and as a coach, you're like, gosh, I feel good. You know what I mean? Like you watch them kick in practice and they're making all the field goals and everything. And that's how I've always looked at it. And I don't know if that's jinxed myself, being a person that believes in superstition. But I guess I'll jinx myself again. Yes, he's looked good, you know what I'm saying, during the weekend. I feel like we can put him out there and go.
That is Doug Marrone on the kicking situation. 5 kickers in 6 weeks. I'm going to give you a scenario in a moment.
Okay.
I want to do our picks right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as we welcome in Brendan Ponsel from the Ponsel Group and jackscoastalhomes.com. I have one question, Brendan. I know you can play golf,
sir.
But can you kick?
I actually can kick. I played soccer in college, but I did moonlighted as a kicker on Friday nights my senior year of high school, and got pretty good at it. Probably should have put more time into it because you master that skill set, all you do is get paid big.
Absolutely. So in high school, they don't really try long field goals. Do you remember what your longest was?
We were so good, we just punched it in the end zone. So I just kicked extra points and kicked off. So we didn't even attempt any field goals. We had a nice fake field goal play in line. I was hoping we would be able to run, but we never did any of those tricks.
All right. So here's the scenario. Okay, John Brown is the newest Jags kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, 3:57. p.m.
Okay.
Here in Jacksonville. Game's tied at 27. It's 5 seconds to go. 46-yard field goal attempt for John Brown.
Yeah.
Does he make it or miss it?
It's a fake. It's a fake. Yeah. That's my answer.
Brandon, does he make it or miss it?
I think he misses, but it pains me to you see these kickers, these college coaches, they just trot these kickers out for 50-yard field goals like they're gimmies and just give up field position rather than go for it on 4th and 5. Drives me crazy.
It's a funny thing with all the analytics these days that they don't use the 4th down analytics more.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like coaches at all levels want to do that, but I believe the 4th down analytics say you should go for it more often than people do. Like, people only go for it on 4th and inches, 4th and 1 maybe. Not many people will go for it on 4th and 2. It's like from 4th and a yard to 4th and 2, it's not really 3 feet anymore. It's like 300 feet.
We'll go and ask Mike Zimmer how that worked out for them last week against the Seahawks.
But listen, I'm not saying it doesn't. That's going to always work. I don't say it's guaranteed to work. Well, neither is an extra point, and obviously around here, neither is a 24-yard field goal.
I hear you.
But I'm just surprised that I bet the analytics say you should go for it more on 4th and 2 and even 4th and 3, and they don't. Now, 4th and 7, we even know 3rd and 7s are tough to make in the NFL, right? The numbers aren't good there. That's what everybody tries to get the offense in, 3rd and 7, then they can rush the passer. But I would gotta believe, man, 4th and 2, 4th and 3. I bet the analytics are pretty nice on those numbers. I don't know. Why aren't we privy to the analytics? I want them. Maybe I got to look them up more.
See, to me, if you had too many analytics, you were in the game of football, Brent. It's just kind of like baseball, right? Like, eventually baseball became all analytics, and I don't want to see that in my game of football. So I'm going to need you to sit on the sidelines with your little Microsoft Office Pro or whatever you're using and do that stuff over there while we're playing football over here.
It's an Apple, by the way.
They're not using an Apple. What are they using in the NFL? The Microsoft Surface. Okay. Microsoft Surface. Cut the check.
Brendan Ponson from jackscoastalhomes.com. We always ask him a little bit about the real estate market in Jacksonville. We know it's booming. It's doing great. You've heard the spots and commercials right here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. All right. Analytics. We just talked about it. Has analytics or has there been a game changer that's made its way into the real estate world in your biz?
There is a game changer floating around right now, and that is lumber costs. They are outrageous. They are up 50% from pre-COVID prices. They're expected to fall during the autumn and the winter, but these lumber costs are just insane right now.
Wow. So so that means obviously it costs more to build. Does that mean people are looking more and more to buy a property that's already built rather than construct their own?
It's definitely going to drive up costs for new construction. Obviously, more on the custom build, the big contractors are getting better pricing with all the projects and the builds they have. But yeah, definitely going to come into effect for these builders that are building out in Nocatee and all these other communities that are master planned. If these lumber prices don't go down, the prices will keep going up because the cost to build is pricey right now.
All right, one more question about the real estate. It seems like, well, let's see, go back. That's the first house that we built, right? So we built down St. Johns County, and I forget what the cost of the actual land was, but it wasn't like outrageous. It feels like the cost of the land now is outrageous if I check something out. Now, it might just be because maybe it's out by the beach or something like that, but like a lot, just a lot, does it cost a lot right now?
Near the beach, yes. Inland, it's not that expensive to get a piece of land to build on. So yeah, it's just a matter of where it's located, any type of views, or if it backs up to kind of like a lagoon type water feature, things like that. The land could come with a premium, but just a standard lot in central Jacksonville, you're not going to see any crazy prices on those.
All right. Brandon Ponson with us, jackscoastalhomes.com. You'll have your real estate license 101 if you listen to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 here on Fridays. Well, it's now to pick, and I'm not sure we're making people a lot of money on our picks.
How'd it go last week for us?
Is winning. Good question.
Hey, your lead pipe lock on the Browns came in though. So if everyone listened to that, they got rich.
It did. I know. I wish I put a lot down on that, but I did not. So let's get to the picks right now before we got to take a break, and we'll get you out of here quicker than we normally do. But I've got 2 college games on the slate. I actually put Florida State on this one because Florida State's at home under the lights, and they're against North Carolina, and North Carolina's favored by almost 2 touchdowns, 13.5 points. What do you see there, Brandon?
I think they built a lot of confidence. They didn't get the win, but they at least looked like a legitimate college football team last week in South Bend. I think North Carolina is probably the most overrated 5th-ranked team in the country I've ever seen. I think they come back to earth after their great performance last week against La Tech, and I think Florida State gives them a dogfight. I do see Carolina winning, but the Noles will cover the spread.
Very good. What do you think?
I'm taking UNC. I think Javonte Williams is one of the most underrated players in all of college football. He's the running back for the Tar Heels. Florida State has problems right now stopping the run, which is really crazy because that was supposed to be like their bright spot, their interior defensive line. They're having problems. Go ahead and give me UNC.
I've got Florida State. I'm coming with Brandon on this one. I think they'll cover. Like I said, I think this is going to be a game. Look out for North Carolina. They probably win it, but they're going to get scared a little bit. How can they play from the front-running position? I'm not so sure. How about Georgia, Alabama? Now, the latest line I have on this, with Nick Saban most likely sideline, is 4.5 points. Alabama favored by just 4.5 points. You're like, throw the house on that when Alabama's at home and only favored by 4.5 points. But this has some interesting circumstances. What do you think?
I'm taking Bama all day. I think the fact that Georgia is having problems running the ball right now is going to hurt them. Obviously, Alabama can control the clock however they want to with the run game or the pass game. I think at home in Tuscaloosa, whether Nick Saban's going to be on the field in person or in some kind of bubble, I think that Alabama's going to win this game easily.
All right, Brandon, what do you think?
I think after that performance on defense last week, Alabama is going to kind of try to keep this a low-scoring game and control the clock. Georgia's offense was, but I think Alabama wins by a field goal, so I'm going to take the points in Georgia.
All right. I am taking the points as well with Georgia. In fact, I'm taking Georgia to win the football game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think they're going to surprise some people. I don't know if Alabama – I don't think Alabama's going to score at will like they did. I also think, and I really love the story, and I'm not rooting against them, so don't take this the wrong way, although we do have basically 2 local quarterbacks in this game because Stetson Bennett is a guy from just up there in southeast Georgia, about 80 miles from here, and so he's technically kind of a local guy. But Mac Jones, the one issue you can pick about with Mac Jones is he's had this propensity now to give the ball to the other team in big-time fashion. 2 pick sixes in a big game against Auburn. A pick six a couple weeks ago. I think you got to be a little careful here. And against this Georgia defense, they might get 1 or 2 of them against Mac Jones. So I'm going to go with Alabama. All right, let's go to the NFL now. And the Browns, I had them as a lock last week. I'm not so sure I have them as a lock this week, Brandon. 3.5 points is the spread. Pittsburgh favored at home against the Browns.
I love this Pittsburgh Steelers football team. I think they might be the most complete team in the NFL. They got a defense that gets after you. They've got a great quarterback that is still performing at his age, and I think they handle the Browns pretty easy.
I'm taking the Browns. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense struggled. Yes, last week against the Eagles, Carson Wentz had a field day. They had receivers I've never even heard of before. Jalen Reagor? Or no, who's the other guy that they had? Yeah, is it Reagor?
Yeah,
whoever the guy was. Yeah, he had a heck of a
rookie.
day. Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and give me Cleveland with the points. They have the far better offense than the Eagles did. And if Beckham Jr. can play healthier, because keep in mind, he's been sitting out with
sick,
illness.
But
so we'll see if he plays.
COVID-19, so it's interesting.
I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Maybe he had some bad wings. With that being said, I'm taking the Browns.
You know, I think these are monumental games for the Browns because as they build this thing, it's like, okay, but can you win this kind of game? Can you win this kind of game? Well, they did that last week. I actually think they're going to win this one, too. The Steelers, they're 4-0 for the first time since, like, the late 70s. I don't have them going to 5-0. I think they're a bit vulnerable here. I'm going to take Cleveland as well, and I'm taking the points. I actually think they might win the game. All right, what's the other game we have for you? Packers and Bucks. Green Bay on the road, a point favorite. Who do you like, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady here, Brandon?
I'm going to jump on this over too, but I like the Buccaneers. I think Brady's going to have both Pollard and Evans out there, and going to be able to pick apart the Packers defense. I like the Bucs in a shootout.
Well, have you been like no longer allowed in Wisconsin?
Oh, no, pretty
anymore?
much banned for
Yeah,
sure.
thought
Yeah,
so.
so I'll see you at the border of Minnesota. With that being said, I'm taking the Buccaneers. Listen, it's ingrained in me, Brent, and it seems like as a kid, they always had problems playing in Tampa Bay. I don't think it changes here. I think Tampa Bay wins this game.
Wow, that's wild that you say that. I'm going to go with Green Bay because you guys just gave me a gimme. So thank you very much.
No
I'll
problem.
go with the game picker-upper and take the Green Bay Packers on the road by 1. The better quarterback in this game, even against the GOAT. All right, Ravens and Eagles. I put this on there because I think this is interesting. The Eagles came to play a little bit last week, still fell short, but now they're dogged by 7.5 at home.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Go ahead and give me the Eagles with 7.5 at home. Simple as that. I don't care who they're playing. And Lamar Jackson isn't being his MVP self right now. Give me the Eagles all day.
What do you think, Brandon?
The Ravens tend to just stomp on teams lesser than their skill set, so I think they just get the job done and cover this one. No problem.
All right, on the road, be an impressive win for Baltimore. I've got Philly, too. It's just
Mm-hmm.
too much for me, and so it'll be interesting to see if the Eagles can somehow turn this thing around. The battle for first place still on in the NFC East. The battle for futility, really, in the NFC East. All right, the Jags and the Lions. I already gave my pick. I like the Jags this week. I did it to start the show, Brandon, so there's not much mystery here. But for some reason, I like the Jags this week. I think they're going to get this one. And they're getting 3 points at home, so I'll take the 3 points in our little game. But I actually think the Jags are going to win this game against Detroit. What about you?
I think this is that spot where the Jags make you wonder why they're a 1-4 football team. I think they come out hitting on all cylinders. I think the Lions have a weak defense. I think Minshew puts up some big numbers, and I got the Jags winning.
I'm taking the Lions, man. Until the Jaguars show me something different, I got to pick against them every single week. Simple as that. I think Matt Patricia's coaching for his job right now. This is a big game for him and that defense. I think they step up. Lions.
All right. There it is, our six-pack of picks with Brandon Ponsel from jackscoastalhomes.com. Hey, man, have a good weekend. Enjoy the games.
You guys as well. Thank you.
All right, that's Brandon Ponsel. Joins us each and every Friday. jackscoastalhomes.com. Check it out for all of your real estate needs. You buying, you selling, give Brandon a call and the Ponsel Group at jackscoastalhomes.com.
So I went 5-1 last week. Don't even mention it. It's all good. Not a big deal. Not a big deal, but I went 5-1.
You got 3-3. I wasn't going to tell Brandon.
I went 5-1 last week.
How?
I went 5-1 last week. So you might want to check who you wrote down for me again because I went 5-1.
Oh, yeah, I did just circle the wrong one.
There you go.
I was looking at the wrong one. 1-5 was Brandon.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, no, you had Pitt last week, though.
No, I did not. I had Cleveland. I had the Chargers. I had Pitt.
You had Cleveland, you had the Chargers, you had Georgia, you won. You had Florida, you lost.
Yep.
You had Pitt instead of...
I had Cleveland.
No, they didn't play
I'm
Cleveland.
sorry. Who did Pitt play?
Pitt played Philly.
Oh, Philly, yeah, I took Pitt.
And Pitt?
Oh, wait, no, did I take?
They didn't cover the spread.
What was the spread?
More than 2.
Okay.
So you did. This isn't just a pick if you
Did
win the
Pittsburgh
game.
The Eagles win that game?
No,
yeah.
Pitt won 31-29, but you didn't cover the spread.
Okay.
This is a spread game.
Hang on, I got to go back here.
What
We got to check that out.
are we doing here?
So what, I'm 4-2 then? We're not even keeping score. This thing is the biggest off-the-rails segment I've ever been a part of.
Can we go back last week and see if he picked the Jags? Because I think he picked the Jags.
I definitely did not pick the Jags.
I want you to find out in this commercial break.
I will bet. I want you to make a bet right now. I picked the Jags. Bet me right now. I guarantee I did not pick the Jags last week.
$20.
All right, 20. Oh, but don't do that to yourself. All right, let's find that audio.
We'll be back on ESPN 690. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
It's so good, they're bringing it back to Beard's Diamonds.
No other jewelry store in North Florida can match it.
It's a buy one, get one free on wedding bands. Going on now through the 24th.
Yes, it's a buy one, get one free on wedding bands.
And only at Beard's Diamonds.
Going on now through October 24th.
If you're getting married soon or just want to upgrade your wedding bands, now is the time during Beard's Diamonds buy one, get one sale.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Appliances may work on your schedule, but they quit on theirs. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we'll get your appliances back up and running in no time at all. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have repaired more than 100,000 appliances over the past 35 years, servicing Jacksonville to St. Augustine and Ponte Vedra with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. When your appliances quit, we're ready to get started. For quality repair at a price that's fair, visit AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Military veterans, now is the time to purchase your new home. Home Steps is a nonprofit organization that helps veterans achieve home ownership. Take advantage of the many benefits that's available just for you. Call Latasha Looper today at 904-574-7180.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Connecticut Premier Softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge are in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Nathan here from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park. We've got our largest inventory of SUVs ever, including the new Tahoes, Suburbans, and 2020 Chevy Trax. This month, get into a new Trax starting as low as $16,900. That's under $17,000 for a brand new SUV. At Gordon, you'll find a huge selection of new Chevys, no bull pricing, and we always do our best to get you out in your new car in about an hour. Gordon Chevy, 5 miles south of the Orange Park Mall, on the money-saving end of Blanding, or online at gordonchevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
WFOX Fox 30 has been removed from the service of Dish Network after the satellite provider refused to agree to a fair deal for a new retransmission consent agreement with Cox Media Group. If you're affected by this decision to deprive you of important local news and to watch your favorite teams at the start of football season, then make your voice heard. Call Dish today at 1-800-333-3474 and demand they put Fox 30 back on Dish.
The 2020 Florida-Georgia game is happening Saturday, November 7th, and Tailgaters Parking is open and has premier tailgating spots for you, your friends, and family. Tailgaters Parking has been a fun, friendly, and fantastic tailgating venue for football fans for 17 years now. Tailgaters is located across from TIAA Bank Field and offers reserved parking, security, clean fixed restrooms, a bar and grill at the pavilion with easy access before and after every game. Go to tailgatersparking.com and reserve your RV or car parking today.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app. Did Bill O'Brien help the Jags by a point? I was expecting the other way to go up. Plus, the Jags were beat up. We don't even know if Josh Allen's going to play in this game. What do you think?
So listen, I think that if the Jaguars come out and try to throw the rock around like they very well could, they're going to lose this battle. I think Houston has a lot more respect to Gardner Minshew, the better quarterback. If they run James Robinson, they slow the clock down, they could have a chance. I don't see them in that. I think they're going to try to get in a gunfight with the Houston Texans. Going to backfire. Thanks.
He said Jags.
Thanks.
Right? Did he say Jags?
Thanks.
I never heard the final thing.
Thanks.
Did he pick Houston?
Thanks. Oh, and by the way, going to owe me an apology for that Eagles-Steelers game, too, by the way.
That one was. I screwed that one up.
So what was the score of that one?
I thought it was 31-29.
Certainly wasn't,
sir. 38-29.
Yes, sir. So that's going to put me at 5-1.
Sorry, Brandon.
Like I said,
almost screwed you on that pick, too.
Like I said, 5-1 last week.
5-1, even though I never really got the Jags pick or not.
It was probably 31-28 at one point.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was 31-29 at one point.
Then they probably
must have added a late touchdown, and I thought it was over.
And if I had wheels, I'd be a wagon. Regardless of that, though, I'm 5-1 since last week.
I gave myself a win.
Oh, what else is new? What else is new? This game, I tell you what, man.
We're playing for a lot here.
Yeah, pride. Most important thing.
I mean, look at folks. Look at all these scorecards I have. I mean, I got
5-1. 5-1. Go to your neighborhood bookie, tell them Austin sent you, and put down my picks, man. I'm telling you. I'll win you some money.
It's actually the second time you've gone 5-1.
I know.
You've also been 1-5 before.
I have a little bit. Yeah, it was an off day. I was traveling. I was on the road. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was tired, man.
Let's welcome in Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber. Hey, Stuart, you get your name in the paper.
I did. That's exciting.
Yeah, geez.
Was it in the actual paper, too? Like they print that. They print that, right?
Oh, wow, Brent. Show some compassion for our print media homies out there. Come on, man. Yeah.
Cheap shot. But I wish there was. I mean,
that was very nice. I was just telling you, it's funny because, I got the tag on Twitter saying that I got a hat tip in Gene's column. And I got all excited because I thought it was for the field goal.
That's what I was thinking you guys talking about.
That's what it was for. That's what
you
I thought.
Yeah,
what was it for? He thought it was for the field goal that he kicked on the show the other night.
Yeah.
No, Gene, Gene watches a lot of the shows. Hopefully just CBS 47, Fox 30.
Yes, sir.
And so when we were on the Blitz last week, Stuart made this, from the playoffs, he made this graphic.
Okay.
That was really well done. It's like a bracket, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't give it to us. Stuart made it from scratch, and it looks really good on the wall that says it all, and we had it up there, and we'll use it as the playoffs happen.
We got the big school bracket tonight.
There you go. See it again, Gene, tonight, 10:30 on Fox 30 on the Friday Night Blitz. But Gene was watching, and in the show, he's like, hey, that graphic looks really good. Who made that? And so I was bragging on Stuart. I said, he made it. I said, nobody else in TV, like the thing people don't understand about TV is nobody else can make. I mean, they can, some will, but it was a really good bracket. Like Marcel does a lot of our graphics as well.
Yes, he does.
Stuart does. They don't get credit for doing the graphic stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now more and more guys in our business and gals in our business do it.
Yeah.
Because of what's at their disposal.
Because
and
you're
the
used to playing around with Photoshop, too.
Well, it's like Kuz. I mean,
you learn it by doing it.
Kuz is a radio producer for this show, and he messes around with the video feeds all the time and does a good job with it, right?
Yeah.
So,
constantly evolving.
Yeah. It really did look good, though. And where'd you steal that from again? You stole the concept.
The concept
all good
was from
ideas are stolen.
Yeah, it was from an NBA bracket, just kind of like a shaded, rectangle with the team name.
Yeah.
And kind of a half clear logo of the team in there with it kind of look.
Yeah. But it's a little more different in high school logos than it is getting like the NBA or NFL logos.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks to Gene for noticing, because we appreciate when people appreciate the work.
Yeah.
And good job by Weber. Weber had a huge week.
Huge week, man. One of the best ones ever.
Weber had such a big week, he didn't even know what he was going to make the paper for.
That's a good week.
That's a good feeling to have, man.
It's a good week.
It's been a second since I've been in the paper. The last time was interviewing a hot dog eating winner back in my first job in Midland,
really?
Texas.
How many hot dogs?
Like 3.
Oh, really?
It was a TV segment in Kids.
Oh, okay.
So
I see this all the time.
Not something to brag about, though, Stuart, huh?
It's the craziest thing.
I got it on the newspaper, so I don't care about it. Yeah.
The newspaper, even though I know the newspaper world is different, but I think people still love seeing their name in the paper.
It's
and
the best
even
thing.
people like us that are on TV and on radio, like
I still
love
have all
seeing
the
their name in
clippings.
the paper.
All the clippings from high school. Anytime I showed up for getting 7th in the discus in some track meet, there I was. I cut that out and kept it.
My
I've got it in a
goodness,
folder.
Kuz, I hate this new break structure. We're already freaking going to break.
It's a good song, though.
My goodness.
Yeah. 8 minutes was a lie, by the way, that he told it.
High school football tonight, Weber.
Yeah, Bowles, Baker County, obviously the big one. And I'll be up in Nassau County, West Nassau, Fernandina Beach.
All right.
So we got some good games tonight.
You should have went up to like Fernandina Beach early and just hung out on the street up there. I love.
I'll go do that right now.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you, Weber. Have a good night. Go get dinner up there, man. It's a great spot, a beautiful night. It's one of the best kept secrets,
man.
Best kept secrets in Jacksonville.
What a walkout. Best walkout I've ever seen.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, just like the main street. I forget the name of it. But the main street right there in Fernandina Beach. It's like George Street in St. Augustine, right?
Yeah.
But it's right there on the water. Leads right into the...
I'll check it out.
You got to go, man. You got to bring Cody and
Can you be more
Ronan.
specific? I mean,
no,
it's my team
just
dinner.
go look up the damn street. It's
Okay.
like Fernandina Beach. It's like 3 miles long, like square miles. I mean, come on.
What's the name of the street?
I don't know the name of the street. It was like one street in
All right,
Fernandina Beach.
Fernandina Beach Street Restaurant. Let's see it. Here it comes, everybody. Get ready.
High school football tonight, by the way. We'll have the Blitz Scoreboard Show at 9 o'clock. Back on ESPN Radio.
Beach Street Bar and Grill?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Garden Street Bistro?
Street. We'll
Oh,
be
okay.
back
All right.
on ESPN 690. Coos is yelling at us.
Hey, boss, don't you just love this time of year? No. Come on, the weather's changing, football season's here.
I don't like anything in 2020, okay?
Fair enough, but Halloween will be here before you know it.
True. That's always a good night for us crooks. Nobody gives a second look to our disguises.
Yup, all we gotta do is make sure we pick houses without Safe Touch security and we're golden.
Just mentioning Safe Touch security puts me in a foul mood.
I know, all those houses off limits to us crooks because of Safe Touch.
Yeah, they got their 45-second response time, the two-way communicator.
No freedom-loving crook messes with a Safe Touch house.
Exactly. It's why we stick to the Crooks R Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Hey, now there's one thing that's not upside down this year.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number LVA 4188.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience, so every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Fall is in the air. Fall projects are on the list, and the Home Depot is ready with more ways than ever to help. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Choose flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall and fall projects now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Max. He's showing you, nope, year 2. I know what this dude wants now. I know this system now. Now, not only can I game manage, but I can show you what Aaron Rodgers is about. As great as I think Russell Wilson is. If they're all playing at their best, Mahomes 1, Rodgers 2, Russell Wilson 3. Those are the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. And then there's a drop-off. I would still put Rodgers, if he's right next to Patrick Mahomes.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekday afternoons at 2 Eastern, on your smart speaker or wherever you stream your audio. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Mike Reese and Field Yates report the Patriots canceled their practice today after another positive COVID-19 test. They're still scheduled to play the Broncos on Sunday. Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is out for Sunday's game against the Falcons. He has a groin injury. Cook leads the NFL with almost 500 rushing yards this season. The Rays still lead the ALCS 3-2, but they've scored only 17 runs in 5 games. ESPN's Jeff Passan.
The Rays lineup, which is supposed to be as deep as it gets, not necessarily top-end stars, but really deep, is having a lot of problems scoring runs. And it doesn't matter who you throw out there on the hill. If you're not scoring runs, you're not going to win baseball games.
Our coverage of Game 6 starts at 5:30 Eastern on other ESPN radio outlets, and at 8 Eastern, it's Game 5 of the NLCS with the Braves leading 3-1. Alabama coach Nick Saban has now tested negative for COVID-19. If he has 2 more negative tests, he could be allowed to coach tomorrow night's home game against Georgia.
Want to know what's really scary? Seeing just how much you could have been saving on car insurance switching to Geico. It's almost as scary as watching your dog growl at the wall and realize he sees something you don't. Get a quote at geico.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
As far as me going to play home, I feel like it's a blessing for me to be this close and for me to finally be able to play in front of my family. You know, I have never been able to play in front of my family as many people is coming to this game. So honestly, it's an honor for me, and right now I just got to continue to do what I do, control what I control, and go out there and play the best I can. You know, so like I said, I'm anxious and I'm happy to have them come into the game this week. But right now I'm trying to win this game. That's all I really care about.
I'm gonna lock in my decision.
Wow, you got it. Gosh, you're on a roll lately with this. I don't.
So, your hint will be...
It's not 1, is it?
Huh?
It's not 1 or 2, is it?
Well, that is kind of a hint. But it's also someone local-ish. Because it's a Jags Lions game player.
You got this?
I said it. I mean, I think I have it. Let's see. I gave you the biggest hint ever.
I didn't even understand the hint.
Okay, that's cool. What you got?
Well, if he says kind of a local-ish guy, I was thinking it would be, oh no, he don't even play there anymore. I was thinking Slay, but I was thinking Jared Davis is from Camden County, would be a linebacker for the Lions. That's not it. Who do you got?
The third? Is it the third? Walker the third? Yes, sir.
Who?
Tracy Walker the third.
Kuz told me that. Kuz told me that. I don't know.
Played for Brunswick High School.
So he's one of the Brunswick guys.
Kuz told me that one. I couldn't even have a straight face when I was trying to say it because I forgot the first names. I was like, yeah, the third, right? Yeah, okay. So
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we were cheating on that one. I didn't ask the Kuz to cheat, by the way, either.
Yeah, kind of like when you didn't pick the Jags fully. You just kind of talked about Jags in Houston.
I mean, Brent, if you must know, it glitched out because sometimes it glitches out. I swear. The whole thing is so glitchy. And props to Kuz to try to doctor it a little to even make it sound presentable because it was so glitchy.
So we're still not convinced that he picked the Jags.
Brent, the way I broke that game down, I called it. How did I pick the Texans, man? Man, Brent.
There's an asterisk if you win by
there's
one.
no. If the Houston Astros go and win it, no asterisks for me either. No asterisks for the Los Angeles Lakers. No asterisks for me. I go with the Houston Texans.
That's interesting. So I'm not as familiar with Walker, but Slay, right? Is he out with the Eagles? Where'd he go? Didn't they trade him?
He was on the Eagles.
He went to the Eagles. I think he went from the Lions to the Eagles. And
correct.
So they had Jared Davis is the linebacker. He's from Camden County, played at Florida. And I hope I'm not getting all my guys mixed up here, but I think so. And then went up to Detroit. And he's played very well for them. the linebacker position. Then
Darius Slay's from Brunswick.
Slay, who was Brunswick. Walker, obviously, Brunswick. And I think there's another one that was up in Detroit, or maybe it's just those three, but they had those three guys from Southeast Georgia that all played against each other on the same roster.
It's wild.
And there might even be another one now or was. Stewart would know better. But it's pretty wild, the talent, because we did one of the stories, I think around draft time, where we were thinking about doing it. It's like, what's in the water in Brunswick?
Well, I mean, I've been through Brunswick, and I'll be honest. Yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a city. It doesn't stick out to me.
No,
it's just
what's the other one is who's the running back? Gosh, I can't think of anybody's name today. Who's the running back? Miami last year got drafted. DJ Dallas.
Okay,
he's a Brunswick guy.
Okay, never would have got that in a million
But I
years.
think he played for Glenn. I think that's why I was thinking. I think he might have played for Glenn or the opposite of those guys. But he was from that area. So another one. It's like, wow, man, look at all these NFL guys they're producing up there in Southeast. By the way, Duval Doom, who probably knows all about those Southeast Georgia guys, just telling me that it's Center Street in Fernandina Beach. Okay,
Center Street.
So look up Center Street. How long have you been in Jacksonville?
Going on about 10 years now, Brent.
Yeah, and you
10 and
like
some
all
change.
like these like little spots.
No, listen,
maybe they're not the most
I've been to-
popular spots. You've been to.
Oh yeah.
You could mix it up. You'll go to the Jack's Beach,
Local.
down to
Shop
St.
local,
Augustine.
Brent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shop local.
Yeah.
You got to go to Fernandina Beach, man.
I've been to Fernandina Beach. I just don't know what the streets are called.
Oh, so you've been to that main street?
Yeah, I mean,
where
there-
the shops and some restaurants, and then
Yeah.
walk. If you kept walking straight, you'd walk right into the ocean.
I'll be honest, yeah, but I always get that, and there's Amelia Island there too. I mean, it's close by, so I always
True.
get those two confused.
Fair
to tell you
enough.
the truth,
I
yeah.
do, too.
But I've been to Fernandina Beach.
Yeah,
yeah. I just don't know
I'm
the
just
street
saying,
names.
just doing you a service here that
Sure.
if you haven't, you got to
Yeah.
go. It's
Okay.
a great spot.
Okay. And just to kind of hang out, and is there like a restaurant that you prefer though? Is there like a seafood something that I'm missing
there really
out?
isn't. Like I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
It's not like I'll say like go here
Yeah.
and get this. Don't.
Okay.
I've been to multiple restaurants up that way.
Can't go wrong with any of them, huh?
But it's a great Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, evening spot to go stroll
Little
around.
date night. I like
Now
that.
you might want to wait until the sun sets until after 7 again. Now, according to Coos,
again, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Rearrange your whole schedules there. Have you been to the Shrimp Festival there?
well, no,
or that's
actually,
Amelia Island.
No, Shrimp Festival is right there, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. You're
I've
right.
never been to the Shrimp Festival.
Okay.
Because usually it coincides with like travel baseball in early May.
Sure.
And so we've always got like a tournament that weekend.
Gotcha.
The Shrimp Festival is supposed to be
Well,
outstanding.
and obviously this year it's canceled. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. We're teaching. There you go. Will jumps in, says center. Yes.
Cool.
I think Center Street is
I'll
the
definitely
answer.
take the advice. Thank you.
It's if it's not Main Street, it's Center Street.
Center
right?
Street, yeah. Middle Street, Main Street. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. You're good, man.
The main veins are not often called George Street. Like
What's the main vein in Rhode Island? Do you even have a main street in Rhode Island, or is it just a road?
no, I would point to to liken this this conversation. You wouldn't go to Providence as much as you'd go to Newport.
Okay.
So Newport, Rhode Island has what you would consider to be Center Street there in Fernandina,
Sure.
or George Street down in St. Augustine,
Yeah.
and it's called Thames Street.
Thames Street.
Thames.
Okay.
And that's where like everything's happening.
That's where it's at.
Right. And
Cool.
you can see the ocean from the shops and
Sure.
from eating there and everything. So
I like it.
Go get some clam chowder.
Yep.
Clam cakes.
What do you call those things that are like kind of exclusive to Rhode Island? The
Steamers.
Steamers. There you go.
Go get some
Get
steamers.
some steamers.
There
yeah.
you go. Hey, who's the next coach to go?
It's a good question.
Listen, Jacksonville's going to be part of this conversation. We had this conversation earlier in the week. Bill O'Brien's already been fired. Dan Quinn was fired after last week's game. And we're in a game here on Sunday where both of these coaches' jobs are in jeopardy. Matt Patricia for the Lions, Doug Marrone for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We also have spent a lot of time on Doug and the Jags, and there's a big feel, at least for me, that I don't think Doug Marrone's going anywhere in the next month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I think if anything happens, it'll be later in the season. We'll see if he can rescue it before then. But I think he's got some time to kind of flip this around and see what he can do with this young football team. I don't know. I don't have a good enough feel about what's going on in Detroit. I think Patricia will be gone at the end of the year if they don't win, and that's the way things are going. I don't know if that means he'll be gone in the next few weeks. Like I don't think the loser of this game gets fired Monday. I don't get that kind of feel. I think Adam Gase could certainly be the next guy in line. I mean, there's just nothing positive around Gase. There's no positive feeling around him. Like, I can't get anything that I'd be like, well, at least they're just hoping on this. They're clinging to this.
Yeah.
What are they clinging to with
Frank Gore.
Gase?
Frank Gore. No, you're absolutely right. Like, see, to me, it comes down to 3 coaches right now that kind of stick out to me on the radar a little bit. Leading off is Adam Gase. I think Adam Gase is definitely in trouble. Now, whether he was responsible or not for Le'Veon Bell coming, to New York, I don't think he was. I think Bell was actually there before he got there, if I'm not mistaken, right? And didn't Gase want to take some of his money away? Whatever the reason may be, though, I just think that the Jets right now, they're in an absolute dumpster fire. They're probably the only team in the NFL where I've watched that haven't really had a competitive game. I don't think, at least, that I can remember. So with that
they
being
hung around
said,
the Broncos on that Thursday night game for a bit, and then it got away from him again.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, listen, he had these problems in Miami. He lost that locker room. What happened there happened there. I still don't get why he got the job in the first place in New York, but it's not going well. There's no way Adam Gase makes it this season. Number 2 is obviously, I think, Matt Patricia. And the reason I say with Matt Patricia, keep in mind, went 6-10 year one. He went 3-12-1 last year, and I'm sorry, his second year 3-4 oh wait, I think I'm sorry. Yeah, so he went 6-10 his first year. Last year 3-12-1. Not acceptable. And the fact that how they're losing, their defense is getting shelled, and he's a defensive-minded guy, right? And I think anytime you bring in a head coach that specializes either in offense or defense, well, they have to perform. And right now, Matt Patricia is not performing. So he's definitely on the hot seat. And also keep in mind, Brent, it seems like the past couple years or so, when a team that's supposed to beat the Jaguars loses, you see coaching changes. Now, I can't remember who those coaches have been, but I feel like that's kind of been the trend the past couple years.
No, you're right. As you bring that up, that has happened. In fact, there were a couple of them, I think, maybe last season.
Yeah.
That happened to. Where were some of the openings last year in football? Tampa?
No, because Arians was there last year.
Was he there last year?
Yeah. Bruce Arians was there last year with Jameis.
Yeah, he was there last year. Miami, Flores. Oh, that's a good call, man. There were some.
Well, let me go and look it up. And then another guy's obviously the Jaguars coach, Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
But I'll check that out
so
quick.
you have Patricia, Marrone, and Gase?
Yeah, so in order, I got Gase first, Patricia second, and then Marrone third.
Yeah, I think I'd probably put him in that order, too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other teams that could. What about Zimmer, man? I mean, is Zimmer going to get on the hot seat? The combination of Zimmer. If Zimmer doesn't get it done with this group. Now, Dalvin Cook's out this week, fantasy footballers. But if Zimmer doesn't get it done, Cousins takes a lot of the blame. He's just not good enough. But he's also carrying a lot of money for the next couple of years. So the scapegoat could be Zimmer. As close as he was, as great of a job as it looked like he was doing, Zimmer now is like, okay, I don't know. We're going in the wrong direction. Are we ever going to get there? Might be a fair question.
You know what? I'm looking, and maybe I could have swore there was at least one coach.
Was it the Browns?
Did they play the Browns last year?
Might have been 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it might have been.
I'm trying to think
I remember that too. It was like if you lose to the Jags, you were going to get fired. It was one of the couple years ago.
Because Fangio was there already, right? I think in Denver. I can't. Yeah, I think he was there already.
But I think your point is right. There was that moment.
No, it wasn't the Panthers either because the Panthers beat them. Yeah, whatever it was. But I feel like that's kind of been the prerogative lately is the fact that if you lose the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're supposed to beat them. You're canned on the street.
Listen, the Bills are obviously in a good place. Patriots aren't doing anything there. The Dolphins like what they're doing. I think the Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns, Stefanski is doing a good job, of course. The Colts like what their situation is. The Titans like theirs. Houston will have a new coach. The Chiefs, the Raiders. Now, Fangio's interesting.
Yes. How could he not be interesting?
I mean, from not calling timeouts to not getting W's.
Yeah.
Fangio and Anthony Lynn are interesting cases.
Yeah.
I still think the Chargers they had a team that could have made a little bit of a run, and they tried to go with Tyrod Taylor and a young QB now, and so that doesn't set up to be successful, plus some more injuries for them. I don't know if that will save Anthony Lynn or not. I think they like him there. And also, you know what's interesting about the Chargers is there's really not this, it doesn't feel like there's this passionate fan base because they're like the little brother in L.A. Some of the San Diego people are like, well, you left.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, are people calling for the head coach's job for the Chargers organization? Like, do they have that influx of fan disappointment that
I
other
can go on
cities
Twitter
have.
and check it out. Yeah, I mean, I have to go on Twitter.
I just doubt they do. I doubt they do.
Yeah, and you're right there. I mean, that's not a bad point out because keep in mind, I mean, when you have two teams move to one city, usually the way it works is people are going to cheer for the hot team. And the hot team is the former Super Bowl runners-up, let's just call them, in the Los Angeles Rams. So, yeah, they have been kind of a little brother, little get. Now, don't get me wrong, better jerseys hands down than the Rams do, Brent. But in terms of winning games and being successful, yeah, they're taking a backseat to the Rams.
The other one interesting is Chicago and Nagy. Where does this season go? Because he was on a super hot seat to begin the year, but now they're 4-1. Is he saving himself?
I mean, listen, you can't obviously fire a coach after he's 4-1, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
I mean,
he's saving himself right now.
You're going to pan out that season. But once again,
a lot of football to be played.
There is. And you talk about an offensive-minded guy, right? Like when you think about the Chicago Bears, do you think of their high-powered offense? Sorry, Allen Robinson, with all due respect to you, we don't. We think of their defense. So once again, that's a team who brought in Nagy to turn on that identity, and he hasn't done that.
The NFC West will have all their coaches back: Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, 49ers. Falcons are looking for one. Carolina just hired one. Tampa and Arians are doing okay. New Orleans, nothing's happening there. So really what you have is you have Minnesota, Detroit. If you want to put Chicago potentially, they'd have to fall on their face, so I'm going to keep them out of it. But Detroit, Minnesota, the entire NFC East has new coaches outside of Peterson, so they're not doing anything. If you want, we'll throw the Chargers, the Broncos in here. So that's 4 teams. The Jags, the Texans, that's 6 teams. The Bengals could make a move, if they don't like Taylor and what he's doing. He's lost a lot of games.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of games. So that could be a 7th. The Jets are definitely an 8th. And that's it. There's probably as many as, if you want to throw Chicago in, because if they falter down the stretch, there's as many as 9 potential coaching changes.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
And realistically, we'll probably see, maybe 5 or 6?
6?
Yeah.
I would say.
Wow.
I mean, that is a lot.
Yeah.
Are there that many candidates good enough to replace all that?
Well,
and then that will go back to the conversation you had. Do you have to get in line?
Yeah.
Right? Do you have to get ahead of this thing, which I'm not a believer in. I think as long as you make your move by sometime in December, well, now you're probably going to be okay. But maybe that's not reality. That's just my thought. And you could have, if you're Jacksonville or any team, you could have some real strong competition. And I'm a big believer, and you don't want to get the 6th best guy. Like, you might as well keep what you have rather than the 6th best guy. Like, I understand you might not get the best guy. You might get outbid by somebody that has a good situation as well, and they might just want to go there, see it's a better fit. That happens, right? That's not necessarily an indictment on you. That just happens. But if you don't get the 2nd or 3rd guy, I'm kind of like, well, what are we doing here? I don't want to sign up for everybody's leftovers.
Let me ask you this right now. And based off those teams that we just named, and mind you, we don't have, the draft selections in front of us. We don't know, salary caps and all this stuff and free agents next year. We don't have any of that. I'm just saying from the names that we've just named, in terms of coaches on the hot seat, related to their teams, if you're a coach right now, Brent, let's say you're coming from college, you're going to the NFL, what team seems the most intriguing to you right now?
All right, so I'm going to go through all those teams that I just did. The Jets are not.
Correct.
And it's New York.
Not even New York, though, huh?
I don't care about it. You asked me
Okay.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I got you.
And by the way, I think if you're coming from college, you're asking me about guys like Dabo and stuff. I don't think Dabo's intrigued with New York. He doesn't feel like a New York guy.
Yeah.
Right?
But what about with the possibility of having the first pick of the draft as well?
Well, I mean, you got to throw that in.
Okay.
I mean, do you want Trevor Lawrence? Is that situation? Is it best to go to New York because of Trevor Lawrence? Now, that one, you're probably right. I think they have a lot of money, too. I think they still have some pretty good cap room.
Okay.
So, you know what? Now that you say that, because I wasn't thinking they'll have the number 1 pick, but they're probably a shoo-in if they want to be to have the number 1 pick. And right now you'd put them there. Well, now I'd probably say, yeah, that is something that intrigues me.
Okay, so that's one. Okay. Anybody else sticking out to you?
The Bengals, I think, would be intriguing if Zach Taylor were to get let go. Houston is not to me, even with Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
I think Houston's in a weird spot. I think they're in the 6, 7, 8 win spot, which I think is a bad spot to be in the NFL. You either want to be bad so you fix it in a hurry or not. They have no draft picks coming up. They're spending a ton of money. And they have a quarterback that's good. I mean, it's great to have a franchise quarterback, but I think I'm getting too much of the leftover stuff that Bill O'Brien made a mess of. It's going to take me 2 or 3 years to get out from under that. And by then, Deshaun Watson hopefully still is a great quarterback, but I don't know if I can do enough quick enough if I'm in Houston. I already say Jacksonville, I think, is a prime spot. I think they've got draft picks. I think they've got quarterback situation that will be clear if you want it to be. I think you can run a lot of the show here in Jacksonville. You can build it from scratch. You've got some young talent, and you have money. So I think that it checks a lot of the boxes if you can, depending on where you're drafting. If you're drafting 6th and you don't think you're going to get one of those quarterbacks that you want as the coach and you're not a Minshew fan, well, now you might be in a bit of a pickle because you can't get your quarterback at the earliest until the next year. So that's the one caveat. That's the only thing that doesn't check the box necessarily automatically for the Jags. Other than that, I think the Jags are a pretty darn good, attractive spot. The Chargers, I think they would be attractive. They got a lot of talent, and they have Herbert, who they have a young quarterback now. Denver, I don't think is attractive because I think there's probably too much Elway influence for me to be comfortable.
You took the words right from my mouth.
And I don't even know if that's factual, but it feels like it.
I mean, just look at the prior quarterbacks, Brent. Something's got to be factual to that.
All right, so who else did I say? Detroit, no. You have an aging quarterback that you still owe a ton of money to. Not a good spot. Minnesota, talented team. I think it'd be a pretty intriguing job.
Sure.
And I would say I can do something about Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Because it's going to be an offensive guy, not a defensive guy like Zimmer.
Correct.
So it's going to be an offensive guy, and I'd be like, you know how offensive guys think. They think they can get me to throw 20 touchdowns in a season. So I'd say that's intriguing.
Yeah.
And let's see, nothing in the West. And the Falcons. Falcons are an interesting one.
Okay.
Falcons are interesting.
So we got the Falcons.
I don't know if I like the Falcons job, though. Matt Ryan is squeezing he too much of my cap for not good enough play.
Okay.
But I don't know if every coach would think that way.
Okay. Well, we'll take them off the table from your perspective, though. So we got Chargers, Bengals, Jaguars, Jets. Was there another team that I missed? Or 4 of them?
No, you said it.
Okay. So
Minnesota.
Minnesota, maybe, with Kirk Cousins.
So 5.
So, but I'm saying out of those teams, who would be your team if you're a coach, Brent? Who's number 1 on the list?
Ooh, baby. Not Minnesota.
Okay. So Chargers, Bengals, Jaguars, Jets.
Probably. I don't know everybody's cap situation, but
and that's what I'm saying. Take the cap out of it.
Probably my best bet would be the Chargers.
Okay.
I think they've got a lot of talent.
Yep.
They have a young QB that's already going to be seasoned a bit. He's going to go through some of his lumps. I think I like him, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love him, but I like him.
You had a pretty good offense.
And I think they have underachieved for a while. And I think you got to hope that all the bad luck has run out because they get injury snake bit every year. But it would be between building my own thing in New York.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm getting Trevor Lawrence. And if I'm going to start my team with Trevor Lawrence, well, I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Or going to L.A. where a lot of the pieces are in place, and I got a chance to move this thing in a hurry.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I'm asking myself is I got to go sit there and play Patrick Mahomes twice a year.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's what you call me as a defensive coordinator then.
That's right.
And I'll take care of him, Brent.
So, yeah, I think those are the 2 best jobs.
Gotcha.
You think I got them right?
No,
I don't think the Jags are far behind.
No, they're not. Like, listen, I mean, you can make cases for a lot of these teams, honestly.
I would try to avoid the franchises like the Jags and the Bengals that just for some reason it doesn't work.
Yeah.
If I was a coach, if I was looking at all these jobs, I'd be like, it just hasn't worked there. The Jets are like that too. It's like, seems like it's just going to fail.
Well, and it shows you too. I mean, listen, Anthony Lynn, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps his job next year even, right? So you have the Jets, obviously probably number 1 contenders right now. But besides that, the Jaguars are right up there.
Interesting. Could be a lot of jobs available.
Yeah.
One other thought on that when we come back. Plus, we'll get to a little baseball as well. And give me one thing heading into the weekend. All on the way here on a Friday. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Turning cooler tonight under mostly clear skies, dropping to near 60 by morning. Your Saturday will be partly sunny and breezy. An isolated brief shower may move in off the Atlantic, but be very hit and miss with highs only in the low to mid 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jack's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's Buy One, Get One wedding band sale going on now through October 24th. Attention all Camry buyers. If you've been wanting a new Camry, then I've got great news for you because today's the day to get your Camry and save big at Arlington Toyota. It's the Today's the Day sales event going on now at Arlington. And they've made a special purchase of 2020 Camrys. That means they've got 132 new 2020 Camrys in stock and ready to sell. But with a deal like this, you got to get yours before they're all gone. Make today the day you save big at Arlington and buy a new 2020 Camry at 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. And with every new vehicle purchased from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Want a new Camry? Then today's the day, but they're going fast, so don't wait. Shop safely in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/today's the day for full details.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years. And we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
You know Diamonds Direct is the proven value leader in diamonds. It's what we're known for all over America. But Diamonds Direct is also home to the world's finest and most sought-after jewelry designers. Literally dozens of the premier names in bridal and fashion. Jewelry most stores aren't even allowed to offer. We invite you this Friday and Saturday to be part of an epic 2-day designer event in our showroom. For both days, we turn the spotlight on our very popular A. Jaffe collection, handcrafted in New York. A. Jaffe has been meticulously designing bridal jewelry for over 125 years. We've flown in the entire A. Jaffe collection for this special event, so you can come and express your individual style and discover the A. Jaffe difference. We'll have designer representatives in store with an expanded selection, special pricing, special financing, and extra incentives. So come join us as we show off one of the elite designer collections that help make Diamonds Direct special. It's this Friday and Saturday only at Diamonds Direct off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. And as always, at diamondsdirect.com.
Back to school also means back to Friday night football. Get to the game in style in a new Honda from Honda of the Avenues. Their incredible summer clearance event is going on now to make room for the new 2021 models. Find great deals and haul the whole team in a new Odyssey, Pilot, or CRV. Plus, Hondas are safe and reliable, just what you and your team need. Don't miss kickoff. Stop by the Honda Giant on Phillips Highway just a few yards south of the Avenues to see all their inventory, or start looking right now at HondaoftheAvenues.com. Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
The 2020 Florida-Georgia game is happening Saturday, November 7th, and Tailgaters Parking is open and has premier tailgating spots for you, your friends, and family. Tailgaters Parking has been a fun, friendly, and fantastic tailgating venue for football fans for 17 years now. Tailgaters is located across from TIAA Bank Field and offers reserved parking, security, clean fixed restrooms, a bar and grill at the pavilion with easy access before and after every game. Go to tailgatersparking.com and reserve your RV or car parking today.
Nathan here from Gordon Chevy in Orange Park, your Silverado headquarters. We've got over 50 Silverados in stock and ready to go. And during Truck Month, take up to $7,000 off a new Silverado, plus get a $1,000 accessory allowance to customize your new truck. At Gordon Chevy, you'll find a huge selection of new Chevys, no bull pricing, and we always do our best to get you out in your new car in about an hour. Find us 5 miles south of the Orange Park Mall on the money-saving end of Blanding Boulevard or online at GordonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax and ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau. Some NBA play-by-play here this week as well, right here on ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
Hey, you all right?
Yeah, I know. You looked over like, are you going to make it?
Yeah, man. I'm making sure we're all good here.
Hey, listen, I get choked up about the new lineup.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I mean, I always enjoy, when you play against another great quarterback, you know that team's going to be, those are the tough teams to beat because they're prepared. They're going to play well on offense. They've got very talented defense. It just means you can't make a lot of mistakes. So, again, I'm not defending Aaron. We got a whole defense that's doing that. But from my standpoint, what does that mean? I can play a role in that by doing our job on offense so that a guy like that doesn't have his offense on the field trying to score points. So you just can't give guys like that extra opportunity because they make you pay.
You know what that is, Brent?
That's Tom Brady.
Yes, it is.
What I can't get over, though, is that's Tom Brady offering way more of a soundbite into like a football game than I ever remember Tom Brady doing in New England.
Do you know why? Because he's having fun in Tampa Bay.
But it's crazy, though.
Yeah.
You can tell from a soundbite. Like, if you go back and play last year, and it's not like they were losing, and I'm talking about a melancholy Brady.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a guy who's won. But if you go back and listen to a soundbite from his days in New England, just pick any one.
It's Bill Belichick.
You will never get that kind of information or sound or reaction from Tom Brady.
Yeah. Listen, you're a product of your environment. And in New England, you know what it is with Bill Belichick, man. It's that no-nonsense type of demeanor, and that kind of washed up on Tom Brady a little bit. Like, Tom Brady is probably having the time of his life right now because it's something new, it's something exciting, and obviously he's on, his swan song, if you will. But, like, there's something to be had in that. It's fun. It's exciting. It's new.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he is having a blast with it, just trying to be just a guy, and not having to be robotic. Mm-hmm. There is something about that. Now, can they win and can they win big? That's one of the big games. That's a fun game. Obviously, this weekend. Aaron Rodgers is playing so good, and Brady. It's funny, Brady and the Bucs have done well. They win games. They still don't it's not like wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think, at least I expected, it was going to be the top offense in the NFL, right? Undefeated, probably talking right now and stuff like that. But it goes to show you. I mean, yes, Brady is still the GOAT. Don't get it twisted. But, I mean, he has, I don't want to say he's regressed a little. I will say, yeah, he regressed a little bit the past couple of years. So, regardless of the weapons that you have, and yes, Chris Godwin's been out, Mike Evans been a little banged up and everything like that. But you got to keep in mind, man, you're asking a lot right now of a pretty old veteran.
Yeah, I think you are asking a lot of a guy that's lost a bit off his fastball. Hey, we're just talking about coaches. I just want to add one more thought on this. I get these odds sometimes sent to me.
Okay.
And I thought this was really interesting. The Falcons' next head coach, the odds for the Falcons' next head coach.
Okay.
Lincoln Riley was 3-1.
It's insane to me.
Ahead of Eric Bieniemy.
It's insane to me.
Is
this after he gets fired at Oklahoma or what?
Bieniemy is...
He's the guy.
Well, it's but I said this a couple weeks ago on the show. I don't remember a coach being pushed like Bieniemy's being pushed, right? And rightfully so. He's earned every opportunity. Probably should have been coaching. Every person will say what I just said. He should have been already a head coach. And he hasn't got the job yet. Why didn't he get the job? Does this have to do with African American coaches versus white coaches? I think it does. In terms of the conversation, why he didn't get the job, I'm not saying that. I don't know I don't know who else.
The results speak for themselves, though. Is what I'm saying.
It certainly fits that conversation, right?
Yeah.
And so I just haven't seen a guy lobbied for so openly this early in the season for jobs. Yet I look at the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, the odds, and it's Lincoln Riley, who just signed like a 6-year deal to stay in Oklahoma, which contracts are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
It stunned me that those were the odds.
I get it. Like, he's had a couple Heisman quarterbacks. He's the offensive guru and everything like that. But are you sold on Lincoln Riley from what you've seen from Oklahoma this year?
It's not even just
you got
this
a freshman
year. Listen, he went Heisman.
Yeah.
The thing about Riley that makes it interesting is the game is coming from what the Big 12 created now for years.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL game is going that way. It's not going to be completely that way, but it's going that way. What I think it's still a little bit too early to know, and listen, he's a way better, and the resume's better than Kingsbury in terms of what he did in college. But I'm still not convinced Kingsbury is like this great thing. I'm not. You can't. We're now 2 years into this, and he still hasn't wowed me.
Yeah.
No, listen, he's got a good quarterback in Kyler Murray. He's got an electric guy there. But McVay wowed you right away. Right?
Correct.
I think guys like Shanahan have been so impressive at some of their designs and offensive ability and doing things
Peterson, same thing. Doug Peterson?
Yeah, Doug Peterson did it. I'm kind of thinking the younger coach.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So,
okay.
Because that's where Lincoln Riley fits.
I got
you. Know what I mean?
I thought you were thinking more like offensive mind.
Offensive mind is true, but I was kind of thinking of the under. Now, what's interesting is Rule is not necessarily he's not in that category, right? He's not this offensive-minded young gun coach, but he's doing a pretty good job at Carolina right now. It's a small sample, but he's doing a heck of a job after losing Christian McCaffrey. So I'm not sold on Riley. I would not be over the moon if the Jags got Lincoln Riley. I really wouldn't. I'd have my reservations.
Let me ask you this question: who do you think is better suited for the NFL in terms of Oklahoma coaches, Stoops or the Lincoln Riley?
Good question. I would
say Stoops, and I'm leaning the same way.
Yeah, I think Stoops.
Yeah.
Although I still don't know if he'd be wildly successful in the NFL.
I know, to me, Stoops has the Matt Rule effect, where, like you said, he's not necessarily, he doesn't have his fingerprint all over this offense or the defense of the Carolina Panthers, but just the rallying, the culture building.
He's a culture
Rule
builder,
seems to do that, and I feel like Stoops does that as well. Lincoln Riley obviously would be his offense.
Yeah.
Right? But, it begs the question, what are you going to do if you start losing games? Because, I've watched you go ballistic now for 3 straight weeks in a row.
Yeah, good
right?
point.
And, that team is just in chaos in parallel. You can't finish games. So, I agree with towards Stoops just because I think he can manage a game better, number one, and also cultivate the locker room, number two.
Yeah, I'm just surprised I was surprised. That's the moral of this story. I was surprised at Riley because also I think Josh McDaniels, I think I'd rather have McDaniels than Lincoln Riley. And that comes with a little baggage and not great success in Denver, and success could be on Belichick and Brady. And so I understand that, but I think there's been a lot of time that's now passed between the last time he did it in Denver and now. And I like that. I don't mind a guy getting his second opportunity, especially with some gap in between, and especially when that guy was super young when he first got his opportunity in Denver.
I think if they keep having success with Cam Newton, the writing's on the wall for Josh McDaniels, right? Because, can you imagine going from Tom Brady to Cam Newton? That's let's be honest, it's both sides of the spectrum here. And I think it goes to show you just the offensive fervor, if you will, of Josh McDaniels, if he can get the job done this year.
How about, I think this would be a lot of fun. I don't know if Jacksonville would be fun, if they were to have an opening, but this guy's on the list and he's on a short list. And he's probably going to get a job, especially if there are multiple jobs like we just illustrated. Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich come back to Jacksonville to coach or any market, but I think he's going to be a head coach next year.
Everyone's talking him up.
Well, and
nothing
he's
but great
learned,
things to say about him.
Arians is a great fit in what he was able to do with Arians, but now you have the Brady. What else you could even learn from Brady as a coach?
Sure.
What you can learn from Brady. I like it. I mean, I think he'd be pretty good. And I don't know Byron. I wasn't here when Byron played here.
Yeah.
And by the way, that would be very unfair anyway. This is now, what you're talking about, almost 20 years passing.
Yeah.
So that would be very unfair to characterize, well, I remember him as this guy or whatever. People change, and he's now a coach instead of a player. But people rave about him as he's going to be a really good head coach. And he's not really far behind the Bieniemys of the world in terms of how people say, hey, you got to give this guy a chance, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the next in line.
And if we're being honest here, and let's assume whatever that they clean house this season or next year, whatever, before the season starts, and the house is cleared, right? I think very rarely do you have coaches that come in and it's like you're super excited. Like, oh, wow, I'm intrigued. Like, there's kind of an excitement and energy around the city. Like, Ron Rivera going to Washington, they probably didn't have that. Now, Matt Rule going to Carolina, I'm sure they probably had a little excitement.
Yeah.
Right? I think Byron Leftwich coming here would provide that excitement because everyone's talking about him number one, and obviously he's got ties to Jacksonville number two.
I think Leftwich would do that. I think that'd be a fascinating call. But here's the other one. By the way, the odds. Jim Harbaugh's on this list. Did he leave college? He doesn't do that much for me anymore, does he? Like, he asked me this 3 years ago, and I've been like, heck yeah.
Absolutely.
And now I'm like, a little, the shtick is worn out a bit, but guy knows how to win in the NFL. Like, he wins games. I know he doesn't win big enough in Michigan, but he's won a lot of games before in his career. And you know what the culture would be, right? I mean, you know the identity would be. And that's why I don't like it. He's a defensive, hard-nosed guy. The NFL's not going there. They're going the opposite direction.
Well, and I feel like either, he's a culture builder, but, like, it could go really bad, I guess. Like, the last thing the Jaguars need is for it to go really bad, and I feel like Harbaugh, there's a sense that it could go really bad.
Yeah, Dabo Swinney and Brian Dable also on this list. Greg Roman's another name that's been tossed around at a bunch of different times. So interesting enough, Eric Bieniemy was the favorite to be the Texans' next head coach on this deal.
Sure.
And Lincoln Riley was like 10-1.
Yeah.
So that was pretty wild, the difference.
Hey, if you're a Jaguars fan, let's go ahead and see, I think, Riley over Bieniemy. If I'm a Jaguars fan, I don't want to see Bieniemy every Sunday coaching for the Texans. Because I think they're going to have success,
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought you were saying here in Jacksonville.
Oh, no. I'd like to see Bieniemy here, too.
All right, hey, give me one thing, a little thought or two about the upcoming baseball games tonight. We'll put a bow on a week here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690.
Didn't hear what he said, but it's Patrick Mahomes.
The Le'Veon thing, I leave that stuff up to.
Oh, yeah. Le'Veon Bell going to the Chiefs. We haven't talked about that at all.
So this guy, he's giving me a hard time about not keeping the right score as we're trying to do segments and everything.
Yep.
And you can't even think that you don't even know that's Patrick Mahomes because my phone's ringing.
Well, you know what? It's a little distracting, Brent. A little distracting
Why was
for
my
me.
phone ringing? I have it on. It's on silent. You could hear it though, right? Oh, I think it might have been coming off the computer.
Was it an alarm?
No, it was somebody's calling him. I was going to answer it and put it on the show, but I figured, it was an unknown number.
It's coming off the computer.
Didn't want to do that to you.
That would be great. We should just take like the next, because you know that was a, like I don't know that number, so it's definitely a
call back.
What are they called?
Telemarketer.
Telemarketer.
I got you, man.
My gosh, I must put my name on a lot of things now because I get so many of these calls.
Or someone
like
does
my
it
number.
for you. Yeah.
Because I get so many of these calls. How many telemarketing calls do you get a day?
Oh,
like reality. Like what? Give me a
literally
range.
probably like one or two. Usually it's like a robot I'm talking to.
One or two?
One or two a day. Yeah.
What if this was the punishment? Like whenever we really start to keep track of your guys' bets, at the end of the year, the other gets to submit their phone number to like.
Oh, that's what I've done. So that's what me and my best friends do. Like, you know, like if you're at
really?
Walgreens or something, I'll get my best friend's number. Or like if it was like a chance to like, hey, if you sign up, you get a chance to win some kind of raffle. Oh yeah, I'll sign my friend's email and everything, his phone number in there.
So you've probably done that to me, is what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not. Maybe.
I get way more than. Cool. So how many do you get? Seriously.
I get at least 2 or 3 a day.
I'm going to say, let's see. Let's just go today.
You got to answer it.
Actually, I don't have much today, but I usually get them later at night. So that was only that's the fourth one today.
Yeah, the first
that's way too many.
One today, and they all started at 2:04, so they must have slept in. Yesterday,
or they're calling from a different country.
Yesterday, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
5.
Well, and like
a day. I mean, so I got like 4 or 5 a day.
That's exhausting.
Leave me alone.
Do you answer it or
I got
not?
another one right now.
Answer it.
Oh no.
I don't know to answer it.
I would.
Nobody's going to be able to hear it.
You put on speakerphone.
This is an 844 number.
844. Classic telemarketer. Answer the phone.
I don't. No, I'm not answering.
All right. Well, then I'll just make sure no one's calling me.
Now
easy.
I got number 5.
Yeah.
Do you think somebody just was listening to the show and just called me from a fake number?
Messing with you?
Are they screwing around with me?
It could be, man. It could be your kids getting back on you for telling Kaylee about her grades. She could be getting back at you a little bit.
I just got a text. She's just starting a softball game right now, so
good luck to
hopefully
her.
she's not calling while like on the mound, or maybe she's in the dugout. So
they don't have cell phones in the dugout, do they?
I hope not.
Brent, if you're a coach, you got to put that to bed, right?
You're
not going to do that. You're going to run some laps. What are you going to do if you have that?
Hey, what was I going to say? Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Good spot.
I mean, could it be any better spot for him? I mean, Kansas City. Imagine being a Kansas City fantasy football owner right now. Like, who are you going to play this week?
Am I a bad guy to think in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I take a Le'Veon. I don't know Le'Veon Bell. Probably nice guy. Maybe he's a good teammate. I don't know. But he sat out a year, right? He ends up getting paid. He gets his money, but he sits out a year because I don't know if I'm jealous of those situations because I wish we all could do that in our line of work and come back and make $40 million, and do that. But it just doesn't seem like the way the world turns normally. And so I'm like, okay. So then he goes and gets paid, and we all say, well, he's never going to make up that $14 million he lost, which is true. He's not going to be able to, but he's still got a ton of money. Yeah. Then he goes and gets paid $28 million to play in 18 games for the New York Jets. He complains when Jamal Adams leaves and says, what kind of team guy are you? But then he asks out, and so he leaves. Yeah. And now he goes out and he just basically cherry picks and says, I'm going to go play for the best team in the game, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, now I'm rooting against him even though he's on my fantasy team. Like, am I a bad guy for that? Like, why should I be like, good for you, Le'Veon? I hope you go score 10 touchdowns.
No, I mean, listen, when you're and I don't even want to say he's one of the. I mean, where does he rank?
Is he any good anymore? I don't know.
Where does he rank in running backs?
I mean, it wouldn't even be on my top 15.
Yeah, okay, so that's my point.
He might be good. It might have just been in New York, right?
Yeah, maybe. I guess that's right. But like, here's where I'm coming from. Like, it's one thing, like, you have the luxury, if you're one of the best players in your position, where you can kind of dictate where you want to go. Like, I mean, that's him dictating it, right? But then you think about what he did in New York, and obviously it didn't blow anybody's socks off. But at the same time, I think we saw Bell when he was with the Steelers and probably the best running back in the league. Regardless of that, though, the crazy thing is that Andy Reid does not need Le'Veon Bell to be the best running back in the league.
No.
All he needs is to, come in and spell Hilaire every once in a while, and you're going to be okay. And obviously injuries happen as well, so it's good to have depth. But you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs just reloading and reloading and re-upping. Well, here's another one.
Yeah. Other NFL news, by the way, Odell Beckham Jr. is still not practicing for the Browns. It's interesting. Cleveland and Pittsburgh go at it this week. Myles Garrett's having a fantastic season after getting paid. And, of course, that was
that's a good point. I forgot about that.
That was the helmet toss, man.
The helmet toss,
Speaking of a year ago, how about Jalen Ramsey got traded this week a year ago for the Jags. It seems like that was 5 years ago.
I know.
Man, it's unbelievable that was only a year ago. Like, we should have we missed this date. And we should have replayed that whole day press conference.
Should have been on the show today.
We just should have redone the whole press conference.
Just the 1 year anniversary. That would have been great, man.
I mean,
I can't believe we didn't do that.
I know, I missed it.
Yeah, we missed it.
I'm not even going to ask the question, like, who's better off? I mean, of course he's better off. He got paid. He's winning.
He won.
And are the Jags okay after it? I don't know.
To be determined.
I don't even know. I don't like that.
TBD, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
What else I got for you? Nick Saban, by the way, tests negative. We started the show with that. Could possibly coach on Saturday. That is the story. So a subsequent test for Nick Saban on Thursday showed that he tested negative. Give me one thing for the weekend, man.
One thing from the weekend. I'm checking out UFC Fight Night Ortega verse, and this is not made it up, the Korean Zombie. That's his name. Like, that's what he goes by, is the Korean Zombie. They call him the Korean Zombie for a reason, because the dude refuses to be knocked out. Brian Ortega, a jiu-jitsu guy. Guys are both very skilled. Kind of a clash of styles a little bit. Grappler versus striker, but it should be a great fight. Check it out this Saturday. Check your local
Is there a big
listings.
boxing match this weekend?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Lomachenko, yep.
And Lopez?
The number one pound-for-pound guy in the world fighting Lopez. That'd be a great one. It's free, too. Yep, it's free, so check your local listings.
Are you saying I'm cheap?
No, I'm saying, because usually you pay like $60 for these things. I don't pay $60 for anything right now.
No. Give me one thing. I'm going to give you the baseball play. Listen, I'm really into it.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for the Rays and Braves because I think it would be cool. I don't mind the Dodgers. I don't even mind Houston, but Houston's had a lot of fun the last few years, and karma should get them.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool for new blood, new fans that haven't experienced it in a while. Like, I love watching the Braves fans come out of the woodwork.
Sure.
Haven't watched a game in 4 years, but now they're all here. But I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. Like, I'm not, no problem with the bandwagon.
Okay.
Like, get on the Rays bandwagon if you want. But I hope I don't want to see the disappointment in Atlanta if they blow 3-1 and the Rays if they blow 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so close. I hope they finish the job
Where
this
is
weekend.
that Rays bandwagon? I'm trying to look for it, man. Is it for Bernardino Beach?
Ty's driving it.
Okay.
And he doesn't have his license yet.
Okay, well, there you go, then. The wind unload. I got you.
So there you
Ty,
go.
hit me up, man.
Hey, by the way, we got full night of high school football ahead. Our Athlete of the Week vote is about to close. We'll reveal the winner tonight. We'll have our Blitz QB High Five, and our Blitz Scoreboard show starts at 9 o'clock right here on ESPN 690, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We'll take it to the end of games. Live, local, and loud coming up next. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner,